Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday and end to your week. If it is the end to your week, in fact, I hope you're having a good one. Welcome to another Crypto Cringe stream. Today we're going to be looking at all sorts of weird NFT and crypto bullshit. So it's going to be a good time. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, welcome for the first time. I'm Hannah. And on this stream, we're going to take a look at all sorts of stuff. So let's check out what's going on. We're at 81% to a hype train here at the beginning of the stream. I appreciate that. Let's see if we can get to level 5. And let me see what I missed while I was in the nebulous non-existence of the start screen. GimpFet says, because F you, hope you slept well, Missy. I don't know what that means. Ariamus, thank you for catching the stream for the first time. Robert Morley, thanks for 8 months. Almost time for your stream, baby. Nick with 13 months says, have a hedgehog pre-cleanse for my Baker's Dozen subiversary. Let me take a look. That is a cute hedgehog. Oh, is he sniffing at the puppy? Oh, is he gonna bite the puppy? Okay, 90% to level 1. Oh, he's licking the puppy. Interesting. Hedgehogs are cute. Velmetal Hyde. Thank you as well for coming to a first stream. Let's see. Tank Catapult says, first time viewer, short time follower. Lots of people catching their first stream today. Welcome. Nick with 100 bits says, let's start the hype train. We did. Thanks, everyone. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, train. H-Baird with 100 bits says, hype train to Mundo Fine. GimpVet says, okay, because F me, someone needs to get laid around here. Slaughterama says, gonna make origiri tonight. Sushi rice pressed into adorable rice balls and puffed with spicy tuna and konbu. Yum, I hope it's good. Puka the Duka, thanks for 200 bits and getting us to 5% to level 2 of the hype train. I wish Samir had finished that like, Girl in the Oven video. He still hasn't finished it. What is he doing? Doesn't he know his videos exist only to entertain my audience and myself? I gotta stop wearing black shirts on stream. My hair completely disappears into it. It looks like my hair stops right here, even though it goes way further out. No more black shirts on stream. Gimpvet, thanks for 5 tier 1 subs. Appreciate it very much. And also, 45-bit says, because FSL. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see what level we're at after those gift subs. Once it... 40% to level 3. Oh, wait, no. Something else happened. Oh, holy effing shit. Okay. Robert Morley says, your bitch sugar daddy got you. Happy Friday. Wowzers. With 15,000 bits! That's more bit. I think that's the most bits I've ever received at one time. I think the previous winner was also Robert Morley. Robert Morley, every day, coming down and just making it rain whenever he shows up. It's ridiculous. Well, that hype train's been murdered. That hype train's been stabbed 37 times. Ugh, 381% of level 5 of the hype train. God damn, Robert Morley. You must really like my streams. I appreciate it. Is it the lipstick? I know. Seriously, though, I appreciate it very much. You're always so generous with the bits, and I appreciate it. I hear a Baja.
Yeah. I brought you a cute sweater in case you wanted to put it on.
Thank you. This will make my hair more visible. I appreciate it. I know a little bit smeared, but it's not visible on camera, so shh.
It looks great.
It's fine. You can't see it on the camera.
I know. Now you can't see it at all.
381% to level 5. It's a little better. Maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe I need to adjust the camera.
You look very cute.
Thanks. Love you.
Love you.
Let me fix the camera real quick. Where is the video capture device? There it is. Configure. Brightness, maybe? That kind of blows it out, though. What about gain? I don't know. Good enough. Who cares? All right, so let's get into... I don't even... Do I need to continue the hype train? It's still going, but, like, it's been murdered. Robert Morley killed it, so I don't need to promote it anymore. Thank you for the excellent hype train, everyone. So what are we going to watch while the hype train ticks down? It's got to be something relatively short. How about this, since it's kind of a funny thing about crypto? And then I'll get into the more serious stuff.
Say, friend, do you like money? Well, what if I told you there was a way to exchange those boring green presidential napkins for sexy computer cash that's easier to lose, far more volatile, slaughters the environment, and can't be exchanged for the vast majority of goods and services? Oh, and it will make you look cool among a subsection of the internet that has strong opinions on age of consent laws. Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm here to tell you about the exciting financial opportunity that is Rajcoin. Rajcoin is powered by blockchain, and if you don't know what that is, you're a perfect candidate for gambling large chunks of your real money on the collective hallucination that is my magical calculator banknotes.
I love whoever wrote this.
Allow me to explain with a soothing blue and white stock backdrop of numbers doing fantasy techno gibberish, so you're hypnotized into believing this is futuristic. Pretending to understand blockchain is simple. Instead of being physical currency that's printed and backed by those lizard people in the government.
Did I see this? What is it? Jordan Peterson. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Yes. We got to cover that. I almost forgot. Thank you. I did tweet about that, but I completely forgot to put that on the docket for today. Thank you. Again, thanks for the crazy hype train, everyone, especially Robert Morley. Absolutely crazy generous with your bits as usual. Thank you. Where did... There it is.
Rajcoin.
This is the original and it slaps. Oh, the stuff. Oh, I've seen this in, like, movies and anime. I know what that looks like. I never knew what it was, though. Narnandi Owl says, repeat after me. Line goes up. Line goes up. And KR Goss says, someone keeps leaving Chick Tracks in the soda boxes at my local grocery stores. My husband and I take them out, so now I have so many. What should I do with them? Honestly, if it were me, I'd collect them, because I find them very interesting in a kitschy, campy, terrible way. But you could just throw them away. Or better yet, recycle them. Moppy Muttons, thanks for 7 months, says, hi Hannah, looking amazing as always. Sub Baby is waving hi from its belly button window. Hello, Sub Baby. Are you ready to be abandoned like all of your siblings? No child support. It's in the Twitch TOS. Fact.
Bitcoin is created by forcing computers to solve needlessly complicated math problems, all while using more electricity than Switzerland.
How do Rajcoins even have value?
Because real money will become worthless the moment the government collapses, which will definitely happen any century now. But Rajcoin will forever retain its intrinsic value as long as enough websites with names like BitBro and Chain Chungus keep talking about it. And also assuming the global internet survives into the post-apocalypse.
I still don't think I get it.
Oh, a savvy investor like you shouldn't fret over boring technical details. Look, here are some fancy words to help convince you. Decentralization, peer-to-peer, cipher, fungibility.
Fungibility.
But before you trade all your real money for an ephemeral pretend coin you pour into an investment more vaporous than a ghost fart, I'd make sure you buy some GPUs. Rajcoin mining is driving their cost into the stratosphere. And since 90%
I feel bad for everyone who wants to build a PC right now. I'm so glad I got my computer, like, right before it got really bad. Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, right before I started streaming. Probably a little over 2 years ago. I was very lucky. H. Baird says, $5 says crypto bros start calling cash wallet diapers. They are the same kind of people that call masks face diapers, so yeah, that tracks.
of Rajcoin.
And Nick says, into the stratosphere, which is where we should, I can't say that on Twitch. That's TOS.
Has already been mined.
Fair.
You're going to need a lot of computing power for that last 10%.
I thought GPUs were for gaming?
What are you, a child? Just because a product is created for a specific purpose doesn't mean it can't be co-opted for an Ouroborosian cycle of raw capitalism that recycles real resources into planetary waste for the
Ouroborosian cycle of capitalism is now my new favorite word I've learned in years, or new favorite phrase. Ouroborosian. Lady Necro, thanks for 13 months at Tier 3. The holiest of all sub-tiers. Thank you very much.
The sake of ever more ethereal non-creations that only...
I probably have more emote slots. I gotta get more emotes. Narnandia Owl says, which is why it really pisses me off that video game companies are flirting with NFTs if not actually doing them. Let's make the whole industry more inaccessible. That's a great plan. Yeah, the NFT shit is ridiculous. And then recently, Ubisoft tried to do, NFTs, and I love Ubisoft, not necessarily the company, but I really like their games, and I know there's the whole, like, thing about, oh, all Ubisoft games are, like, the same all the time. And there's the Ubisoft formula, but I enjoy them. They're easy games to sit down and play. I like the Far Cry games. I love the Assassin's Creed games. I think I own every Assassin's Creed game that has ever come out. Literally. So they're great. I enjoy them. But holy shit, I hate their management. They're garbage. And recently they tried to do NFTs. They did poorly. And then the management came out and was like, our audience just doesn't understand NFTs. That's why they didn't sell very well. No, I think your audience understands what NFTs are. They're fucking garbage. Stop trying to shove them down our throat. They're shit. They're awful. They're disgusting. Stop it.
Exist as mirages in our minds. So, are you ready to give Raj...
Did we cover the Little Princess chick tract? Let me see. I think we've covered most of them at this point. It looks familiar, so I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. A lot of them look the same.
Coin a try?
Yeah, I'm investing my
Hopefully Far Cry 7 will have NFT bros as enemies. You know what? I'm down for that. Let's do it.
life savings into it.
Far Cry 7 should take place on like a crypto bro, crypto land type island. And the villain will be like the king crypto bro. And you have to do the Far Cry thing and hunt them all down. I'd play that. Narnia Owl says, happens every time these companies announce NFTs, and every time they seem surprised about the backlash. I think it's because the people in these companies have no idea what people actually like or do, but the people who are advising them on stuff like these are tech bros who are into NFTs and stuff, and marketing people who are like, we can sell a lot of vaporous bullshit with NFTs, so they're completely out of touch of the difference between what's good for their bottom line and what the consumer actually wants. So I don't know. Robert Morley says, we need less NFT, more KFC. Lady Necro says, forever strive for Danzy. Gimpvet says, I think you missed this message before. Hannah, do you think one day we'll be able to upload our souls to the blockchain so that we can be closer to the Lord Almighty that is Block? I hope not. I'd rather go to whatever the crypto version of hell is. Lady Necro, probably a commune. Crypto bros would probably think a commune is hell. Lady Necro, thanks for gifting a sub, and Arnandia Owl says, that's gonna be Watch Dogs, not Far Cry. In fairness, they are kind of all in the same universe, they've hinted at. Watch Dogs is explicitly in the same universe as Assassin's Creed, and there have been Assassin's Creed Easter eggs in Far Cry, so... Hats off. What would you like me to put on, Osty Wasty? Let me know in the chat.
right now.
That's fantastic. I'm sure you definitely won't end up like the many amateurs who lose their life savings on a gamble they don't understand because a fast-talking YouTuber with no credentials and a vested interest in keeping the scheme going told them to give it a shot. I'm Roger. Oh, and by the way, I just tweeted that all purple watermelon up in their can and should corn all over my lily white corn. Also, Mars is flat.
Well, now it says that my Rajcoin investment is totally worthless.
Always has been.
Good stuff. Thanks, College Humor. Alright, let's get into some actual crypto shit. Oh, here's another short one. This guy's an idiot. Let's check it out.
Bitcoin mining is one of the first technologies that converts the value of energy into a digital form that can be sent over a long distance.
That's objectively wrong. What? What? Banking is a thing. I do all my banking digitally. I can send money all around the world, or I can use Western Union to do the same thing. What?
We have an energy problem in the world, but it might not be the one you think. There's so much energy available on Earth, it's hard to even think about it.
This is a really great angle to film, by the way. Remember, teleprompters, fuck that. Or setting a camera right here so at least you're kind of facing the same direction as the thing you're reading. Nah, put it right here, and then as everyone knows, a side angle is everyone's most flattering angle. So you sit right here and you do a profile and you read your message in monotone. It's a good way to get your ideas across. Midnight, thanks for 7 months, says, did you see where the cop that killed Dante Wright only got 16 months in prison, 8 months probation, and a $1,000 fine? It's fucked up. I did see that. It's disgusting, and I hate it. Steve with the Q says, does he think Bitcoin can convert back into energy? I don't know. I do not know what this man thinks.
The amount of sunlight that hits the planet is enough to provide 10,000 times the amount of electricity the world population uses, without factoring in wind, geothermal, and safe sources of nuclear power.
Okay. We are not a Type 1 civilization. We do not have the capability currently to utilize all of the energy on planet Earth, which is what a Type 1 civilization effectively is if you don't know. So that's pointless? I get it. I hope we continue to develop clean energy technologies and replace dirty energy and unrenewable resources with things like solar panels and wind energy and hydroelectric and all that kind of stuff. However, it's not right now. So fuck crypto, and if this is your excuse, then you're an idiot, and you sound delusional. Steve with the Q says, does he think... Oh, I read that one. Sorry. We should just build a Dyson sphere? That's true. I saw that in an episode of Star Trek, okay? They found a Dyson sphere. If the people on Star Trek can make a Dyson sphere just for that TV show, we can certainly make one in real life, right? That's how that works.
But electricity doesn't travel well. The farther the electricity is sent from its source, the more power is lost. But Bitcoin mining happens close to the original source of power, and the only way miners need to be connected to the rest of the world is through the internet. Operating a Bitcoin miner in a remote location taps into unused power sources and can create value for people around the world.
That doesn't mean anything! What are you talking about? Nerdandia Owl says, we also literally can't use all the sunlight's energy directly. Plants kind of need that shit too, amongst many other things. Star Trek? Yeah, I'm saying Star Trek, but incorrectly. Like, I don't know what it is, even though I own basically every season of Star Trek. Robert Morley says, Dyson Sphere is a vacuum, question mark? No, it's more like one of those bladeless fans that's still super expensive for no reason. Raven says, you look really nice as always. Thank you. Appreciate it. Why is he not looking at a camera? Because he has no charisma, and because he has to read his script verbatim because he's incapable of actually articulating his thoughts without directly reading them off of a Word document. Just saying. So, have you ever wondered how different crypto NFT projects get popular and others kind of die out? A big part of it is the hype that is built behind these projects, and that hype is typically built through communities either creating sort of a grassroots digital movement by spamming links and spamming things all over Twitter or other online spaces, or a more top-down method is using crypto influencers in order to pump the value of their NFT projects by pimping them out to their audiences, right? It's sort of a soft pump and dump, if you will. These people have influence. For instance, Kyle Chassis has 30,000 subscribers. This other guy has 118,000 subscribers, all of whom or most of whom are crypto bros. So they buy into a project, buy into an NFT, whatever, make a video about this NFT is about to go to the moon or whatever. People buy in, people start trading them more, which ups the value, and then they offload theirs, and then some people who got in early enough will offload theirs, but effectively, because crypto and NFTs function as a greater fool scam, as a Ponzi scheme of sorts, people get screwed in the long run because these things aren't really worth anything. There are, of course, still long-running Ponzi schemes like the Bored Apes project, like the Crypto Punks NFTs. However, most of these projects pump and dump and fizzle very quickly. So, if you want to see how these pump and dumps are sort of advertised to the NFT crypto audience. Let's take a look at some of these videos and see how they are sold. This is a channel called NFTverse, and this guy says, these NFTs are huge! New upcoming NFT projects. And we'll see how they try and market these to their audience. I'm sure they have no conflicts of interest here. Surely they don't have any NFTs in their portfolio that could benefit from their audience buying in. What did I miss? Red Werewolf says, that's how you drive up the price of energy in far-flung locations. Dr. White, thanks for 18 months, says, 19 months, bitches. What the F is wrong with me? Bloodwine says, I vote we call soft pump and dumps squeeze and squirts. I kind of like that. Raven says, I second the squeeze and squirt thing. All right, squeeze and squirt it is. Hydrate. Let's listen to this guy shill.
It's time for another one of those videos where we talk about some of the most hyped upcoming NFT projects that we'll be releasing here in the very near future. We've had some really big projects announce that they are releasing their very own set of NFTs here very shortly, and I will be providing a complete overview of these collections here in today's video, which will include a look at the community, the utility and roadmap behind the collection itself, taking a look at the founders and team, as well as analyzing the art for each and every project. At the very end of each overview, I will also be providing my own opinion on what I think about that NFT project moving forward. We have some really interesting projects that we are going to be talking about here in today's video, and you are not going to want to miss out. But before we do get started, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button if you end up enjoying or finding value in today's video. And with that being said, welcome to the Niftyverse. Now, really quick, before we do get started, I do want to give a disclaimer and mention that this is not financial advice.
I hate this stuff. I hate how all of these people in NFT and crypto spaces are like, this isn't financial advice, wink, 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 when clearly the entire point of the video is to give financial advice. For those who don't know, it's basically illegal to give financial advice, like if you're not registered as a financial advisor, because you need to be registered and they need to make sure that you have a certain kind of training to make sure you're not just some idiot off the street scamming people, because of course, financial sectors should be heavily regulated, but a large part of the crypto space and the NFT space as an offshoot of the crypto space relies upon scamming people and trying to avoid those regulations by obfuscating their scams through tech bro jargon and other bullshit. So, they're trying to say this is not financial advice, even though the entire point of the video and the only reason you would watch it is to get advice on which stuff you can get into before it pumps, so you can dump it and make money.
I am not a financial advisor, so make sure you are always doing your own research and making...
It would be like if I made a video that's like, here's how to make a pipe bomb. This video isn't advice on how to make a pipe bomb. You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense. You're still doing the thing. Just because you say you're not doing the thing, you're doing the thing. And I really, really hope the SEC or someone cracks down on this at some point, because it's getting absurd. And basically all of these crypto, what's the word people use? Influencers. All of these crypto influencers do this, and it's ridiculous. And I can't believe they're getting away with it as long as they do.
Your own decisions. I'm as well not sponsored or paid or associated with any of the NFT collections we will be talking about here.
Do you own any of them? Do you own any of the NFTs in those collections? Because that's a conflict of interest that should be disclosed. Because if your audience hears what you have to say about any of these positively, and don't get me wrong, I think he'll obfuscate this by perhaps saying negative things about some of them, but I would bet money, real world money, that he has NFTs from some of these projects, or plans to, if they're not already out for sale. And his intent here is to garner interest in the projects that he is going to buy into to give them a greater chance at increasing their value for himself.
Here in today's video. And the first NFT collection we're going to be talking about here today is going to be coming from NBA Top Shot. They have collaborated with the NBA once again and are releasing All-Star VIP passes, and we'll get into what they mean in just a little bit and some details behind these NFTs right here. They will be releasing on February 23rd. There will be a total of 30 of these NFTs, and they will be going up for auction. And to give some details about this NFT collection here, we can read what is the NBA All-Star VIP Pass. The NBA and NBA Top Shot are partnering up to create groundbreaking one-of-one NFTs for each of the league's 30 teams. Designed for the ultimate fan, these NFTs provide the owners with unprecedented VIP access to the next 5 NBA All-Stars starting in 2023. And as you can see here, this is going to be all the access and utility.
Why would you need your ticket to be an NFT? I've heard crypto bros say this stuff before. Well, what if we replaced all event tickets with NFTs? Why? Why would you need to do that? What would the point be? To waste energy for no reason at all? We've been doing tickets since the beginning of events. Like, why do I need it on a fucking blockchain? Just give me a ticket. Give me a code that's in your internal system in a database. It doesn't need to be on a blockchain. This is absurd. I feel like I'm living in a cracked out, crazy world. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. Narnindia Owl says, not like these people get caught getting tokens for less than their actual price for the promos all the time or anything. Kyle Chassis. Robert Morley says, Bill Maher said it best. Crypto is like Tinkerbell's light. How bright she shines depends on how many children believe in her. Oh, that one went away. I don't like Bill Maher, but yeah, not wrong. Dr. White says, remember class, it's both legal and morally correct to right-click NFTs. True.
That will be provided with these NFTs here, and we will get to that in just a second. But in essence, these NFTs will give you access to the NBA All-Star Game for the next 5 years starting in 2023. To see the access and utility that is being provided here, we can read the NBA All-Star VIP Pass includes 5 years of NBA All-Star Game, which will include NBA All-Star Game, Clorox Rising Stars Game, All-Star Practice, and Celebrity Game as well. We can also read right here tickets to the State Farm All-Star Saturday Night, which will include the AT&T Slam Dunk Contest, the Mountain Dew 3-point contest, and then the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Moving.
Can I just say it's dystopian and obnoxious how absolutely everything that's an event needs to be directly named after some corporate product? Like, what was that? The Taco Bell Slam Dunk Contest? What the fuck? I don't follow sports, so it's a little weird to me that it's literally called the Taco Bell Slam Dunk Contest.
Moving on, we can read meet and greets, right? And this will include a shoot around with an NBA legend on an official All-Star court. We have exclusive invite to NBA reception. We also have behind the scenes, right, the next category, which will include a tour of the host arena with an NBA executive. We have inside access to All-Star planning, personalized All-Star itinerary with VIP support. Moving on, we have on-court photos, which will include on-court photo on official NBA All-Star Game court. And then finally, we have exclusive NBA merch, which will include a VIP merchandise and an NBA All-Star jersey. And
I need to buy an NFT to get a special jersey, because the future is stupid. Can I just buy the jersey? No, we need to expend a ridiculous amount of energy to mint an NFT that says you get a specific shirt. Can't I just have the shirt? No, investors say that we'll make more money if we waste a bunch of energy minting an NFT of the shirt. So you mint the NFT and then we'll send you the shirt. Thrashmio says, NFTs have built in defense against right-click. 0 people would ever want to save as. India Owl says, it's genius. They're getting to these people to pay them for their own advertising.
NBA Top Shot even provides a little bit more, and we can see Top Shot surprises right here, which will include a VIP pass, which is worth 25,000 NBA Top Shot collector score points. Now, I haven't personally dabbled in the NBA Top Shot ecosystem, but I'm assuming this could possibly be valuable.
Door, I think, because it needed the support. Maybe not, though. It's fine.
If you are a really big participant in NBA Top Shot. And we can see.
Thanks, Cass. Or, hi, Cass. Why did I say thanks? Thank you for your presence, Cass. What? You okay?
I thought I heard someone banging on the door.
Oh. H-Baird says, weirdly enough, the Chicago Bulls Blackhawks play at the United Center, which is sponsored by United Airlines, but totally sounds like it isn't sponsored. Tucker White says, if you think the Taco Bell Slam Dunk Contest is a dumb name, let me introduce you to the Call 811 Before You Dig 250 power powered by call811.com. What the fuck? Death Guard Elite, thanks for 5 months. Appreciate it.
See the 30 auctions that are being hosted right here. So these are going to be the 30 NFTs that will be auctioned off, right? That are going to
oh god, they're auctioning them too. They're not even just selling them.
That access and utility we just previously mentioned here. Moving on to briefly talk about the team and founders behind this NFT collection. I mean, it is coming from Top Shot as well as the NBA. It is completely official, so there is not.
One sec. Sorry about that.
Not much concern there, not much to say. This is a massive, massive company, right, in a massive league that is issuing these NFTs, so I wouldn't have much worry in that sense. Moving on, talking about the community.
Don't you love that you have to worry constantly in the NFT space because scams are so common? It's just expected that things are scams. It's interesting. Like when I go to the store and I buy something, like at Best Buy or at Meijer or whatever. Meier's like a grocery store regionally, if you don't have one in your place. I never think, oh boy, if I buy this soda, if I buy this DVD, if I buy this box of cereal, is it going to drain my entire bank account? Meier's owned by Kroger, is it? Oh, that's cool. Meier's Union. Shop at Meijer. They have a union.
Community for NBA Top Shot, we can see that they have accumulated close to 300,000 followers on Twitter.
Someone else says Meijer is not owned by Kroger. It's owned by the Meijer family, right? Still? I think.
Yes, it's owned by there is 2 different Meijer grocery stores.
Oh, do they think it's the... They think it's the other Meijer. Yeah, that's a different Meijer grocery store.
And then on their Discord, I believe...
Like Fred Meyer, right? Or something.
They have over 220,000 followers or people in that server. Now, NBA...
Yeah, it's spelled different. Nick says, it's the whitest thing ever that a bunch of white executives who get rich off black players doing uber capitalism with NFTs.
Top Shot is incredible.
Yeah, Fred Meyer is Kroger. Meyer's is a different thing.
Popular,
And it's spelled different.
right? It is one of the catalysts for people entering the world of NFTs. I remember back in the day, this was really one of the main stories that got people aware of NFTs in the first place. Out of nowhere, NBA Top Shot and came and introduced Moments, which was like this big phenomenon, which we saw a ton of different celebrities and athletes started getting into NFTs because of that reason. So they do have a large community and a large collector base that really enjoys NBA Top Shot, and this is honestly going to exceed that in my opinion, right? This goes beyond just being a fan of NBA Top Shot. If you are a fan of NBA basketball and especially like top players playing in a
Okay, I'm sick of this guy talking about the basketball thing, so I'm gonna skip to the like art NFTs bullshit. Okay. J.I. Loss says, I'm poor. I think, will this drain my entire bank account about everything I buy? Fair enough.
are interested here with this one act. And the next NFT collection is completely free. All you have to do is join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. And the next NFT collection we're going to be talking about here today is going to be called Three Landers. Now, to give some details behind this NFT collection, there's going to be a total of 10,000 of these NFTs that we are taking a look at right here. They will be releasing on February 20th, and they will go for a 0.75 Ethereum Dutch auction price, right? Which will
0.75 Ethereum. .75 is oh no, that's 75. I was gonna say, damn. Point. Why won't let me do a point? How about if I number lock and do this? Point? Does it not let me decimalize on this website? What the hell? Let's just do 1 and we'll assume. Okay, so 3/4 of $2,769. Too much.
will decrease by 0.1 Ethereum all the way, I believe, to 0.25 Ethereum if it does end up reaching that price. The cost for the people that are whitelisted is going to be 0.15 Ethereum, so if you are...
Gimp Vet, thanks for continuing your gift sub. Actually, that's a good point. Type 0 first. Let's see. 0. There we go. That worked. Thank you. So 2,076. Almost 2,077. He said to 2.5, which would be 6,923. So in the higher end, we're coming up on $7,000 for each one of these NFTs. At the higher end.
Are whitelisted.
You'll give them this much. They don't look as horrible as most NFTs. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. They look like the same sort of generic computer-generated art that I see all over the NFT space.
for this NFT project, it is going to be substantially lower compared if you are going through the Dutch auction in the public mint. Now let's first start off and take a look at the art that is being provided right here. We can see that this is going to be the artwork and the art style that will be behind this NFT collection right here. There's going to be a total of a multitude of different types of NFTs that will be featured in this NFT collection, such as Ape, we have Human, 3L Bot, Sealander, Spirit, right? And we're getting a little bit of a detail.
And why would I want this?
On what each of these will end up looking like. We have Golem, Zombie, Cyborg, Alien, Devil, right? And then we also have...
Did you say Gollum? Isn't Gollum a copyrighted character? Isn't the name like the trademark of whoever owns the Lord of the Rings books? Randy Owl says, I stand corrected. Catherine CD says, imagine going to buy baseball cards as a kid and they just let you look at the pack of cards and just give you a receipt. That's what NFTs feel like.
Have Melty and...
You think he meant Golem? Golem is fine. Golem is in the public domain. Golem is a, like, the Golem is a, mythological creature created, you know, from inanimate objects.
Bubble. The art
I believe golems are part of Jewish folklore, if I might be correct. Yes, Jewish mythology. Okay, I thought so.
It's very fun, extremely colorful.
I only vaguely know about them because of some old silent horror films about the Golem. Were those German films? I don't remember. The Golem is a monster in those.
Well, and it definitely does fit the narrative and what we are seeing succeeding within the NFT space right now, which is that thick line art. I think what stands out in this art style right here is going to be the eyeballs for these NFTs. I know it does sound a little bit weird to say, but you can see that there is some
Weimar Republic films? I think so.
prominent features.
Old German expressionist film? I thought so, but I didn't want to say so because in my head I don't remember it looking like Caligari. But not all German expressionist looks exactly like Caligari. That's just the example people give of German expressionism.
Features regarding...
Sorry, I'm getting off track. NFTs, NFTs, NFTs. Not movies, not movies, not movies.
Just the overall eyes. It's extremely circular, right? Extremely simple. And
in Jewish mythology, golems are protectors. I know, in the movie, it's the monster, though. Again, it was made in Germany. Prior to... the 30s, I think, but still, eh.
They make it pop out, it seems, right? And there's like a lot of emphasis on the eyeballs there. Now, moving on and taking a look at the team and founders behind this NFT collection here, it's going to consist of these 4 individuals we are seeing being featured on the website. We have 3D Landboy, which is Palm, Stubby, Evo Curator, and then 0x Studio, which you can see right there. Now, the main person of interest is going to be 3D Landboy, or better known as Palm right here, which is going to be the artist and co-founder of this NFT collection. Now, we can see this is a completely public individual who enjoys making art, right, and has been making art and creating this overall art style for quite some time now. He is also followed by some extremely prominent people within the NFT space, so it seems that a lot of people are enjoying his overall art style and what he has done within the community. Moving on, regarding the other founders, I do believe they are pseudo-anonymous and we don't completely know the identity.
Oh, that's always a good sign when some of your... when some of the founders of the project are anonymous or pseudo-anonymous. Run in the NFT space. Run. 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 They're going to rug you. They're going to take your money. They're going to take it and run away, and you will not get anything. All you will have is a link to a shitty JPEG or something.
Of the other individuals. And one more time, taking a little bit more of a deeper look at 3D Landboy, who is the main artist and co-founder of this NFT collection here. We can see he has been creating art for quite some time, and his art style seems to be very fun and unique, right? Definitely pops out to you when you end up looking at it.
What does that have to do with NFTs? I hate when artists do this, and someone else said this in the chat, and I agree. Artists, don't get into NFTs. I know crypto bros will lie to you and say all sorts of things about, oh, it's so good for artists. It's not good for artists. It's not good for artists. The NFT space is populated with so much theft of art from artists because there's no check on whether or not what you're minting is something you own. So many artists have been screwed over by other people stealing their artwork, minting it as an NFT, and then making a profit off of it. It's disgusting. It's a terrible space, and no one's going to appreciate your artwork in it. What they care about is building clout for their, quote, investment. Do not get into NFTs if you are an artist. Please. I know the online digital art space is hard, But NFTs are not the solution to that problem. I know it's really difficult. I know people don't credit you if they post your art and it's dog shit and it's super shitty. And I know it's hard, and getting people getting commissions from people and they treat you like shit and they want to underpay. I know. It's all shitty. NFTs are going to make you all sorts of promises about what they can solve for you and how they can make the process easier and better and more beneficial to you as the artist. It's all hype and lies. They do not care about you or your well-being. They do not care about your art. They care about using your art as dressing for their bullshit scams to make them seem more legitimate, okay? Please do not get involved in NFTs if you're an artist. H. Baird says, I'm just waiting for Banksy to create self-deleting NFTs. That would be a Banksy thing to do. He already kind of did that in physical with the shredded painting. So I don't know if he'd do that again, but hydrate. Narnindia Owl says, casual reminder that this space is full of fraudsters that got barred from dealing in actual finances. Tea with Goblins says, hello, spooky occult wanker here. For those that are interested, here's an interview with Dr. Justin Sledge about the history and cultural significance of the golem and the Jewish magic. His comments about golems as products of anti-Semitic trauma is fascinating. Sorry for off topic, but I watched this just last night and got very excited. Oh, okay. Thanks. Don't get into NFTs in general. I agree.
So many colors are involved with this type of artwork here, and I personally enjoy it myself. Now, he hasn't been able to develop an incredible audience here on Instagram, so it's not one of those artists that is coming into the NFT space that has a tremendous amount of following, but it does seem that he's building up respect within the NFT community. Now, moving on and taking a look at the roadmap behind this NFT collection here, there is not much, if anything, that is provided regarding the roadmap or the utility behind these NFTs, right? I've taken a look at their website as well as their Discord, and this is the only message that they have regarding their roadmap for this NFT collection. We can read right here that they say, we believe in the strongest long-term communities in the space move at the speed of friendship, and we aim to create a sustainable space to champion dreamers, creatives, and friends in all that we do. Our first goal is to create the meeting place for such a community. Of course, we also have a lot of amazing plans in store for the future, and we plan to go there together.
So their roadmap says nothing about what they plan to do. For those who don't know, a lot of the roadmaps in NFT spaces will be like, hey, your NFT is a token that allows you to be part of our club. It's basically a share in a company in many cases. So what they're saying here is, you'll be part of our community. But usually in other NFTs, they'll say something along the lines of, well, our long-term project is, we'll create a video game, and everyone here is part of the game making stuff because you bought an NFT and you're basically a shareholder in the company by virtue of holding your NFT, or you'll be able to do something with the NFT in the video game as some sort of functionality. It'll translate to an item or a character or some other thing. Here, they're not even doing that. There's no pretense. They're just saying, I don't know, we'll build a community and we have other plans. We'll let you know later. I get a whiff of what this NFT is cooking, and it smells like a fucking rug pull. Not only are some of the backers, or some of the founders, pseudo-anonymous, but they have no plans on their roadmap. Not even an inkling of what they might be planning on doing with this project. It's bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Bad idea. J.I. Lost says, there's actually a good reason to get into NFTs if you want to lose lots of money quickly. True.
It seems that it's one of those NFT collections that's not going to really announce a roadmap or the utility behind these NFTs here, right?
Imagine how bad the community and general vibe of the NFT community is, that this guy's video is, these NFTs are huge, new upcoming NFT projects, and the second one he chooses to highlight is one that doesn't even claim to have any future utility in mind yet. They're like, I don't know, here's the art, we'll maybe do something eventually. This is the culture of NFTs. Selling you, it's not even just selling you an idea, it's selling you the concept of a future idea that might exist. It's insanity. I feel like I'm staring into the void, and it's staring back into my soul, and it's waiting for me to blink first. Overthought says, I love the smell of bullshit in the morning. Smells like stupidity.
I've seen that happen within the NFT space for a little bit now. There are certain NFT collections that don't really like to promise anything for their community. Another NFT collection I can think of that will be releasing soon is going to be Interfaces, which hasn't announced a roadmap at all and plans not to announce a roadmap and keep everything as a surprise. Now, something to note here, they have partnered up.
It's like a $6,000 mystery bag. Remember when you were a kid and you'd go into the dollar store and they have those bags that are like $1 or $5 or whatever, and you don't know what's in the bag. It's just a bunch of random crap for kids in there, and you beg your parent to throw down $1 or $5 or whatever, and you get home and you open the bag and it's a bunch of crap no one wanted from the dollar store. It's a mystery though. This is that, but it costs $6,000. Dr. Gamble, thanks for 50 bits with a link.
Do you smell it?
That smelly.
A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells.
Smelly. I feel you, Mr. Krabs. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? You guys know they banned the Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs episode from syndication? It's a shame. Hydrate. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Why? Because of the panty raid at the end of the episode. Because there's a panty raid. And they decided that's inappropriate for children.
And collaborated with a lot of other NFT projects within the space. We can see if we begin to scroll down on their Twitter page here.
For those who don't remember, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs break into a woman's house to steal her underwear as part of their guys' night out. The joke is it turns out to be Mr. Krabs' mom's house, but, you know. Which is worse, I guess. Narnia Owl says, remember when EA tried to claim their loot boxes aren't actually loot boxes, but surprise mechanics? This is exactly why you don't get a cheap cosmetic and it's 100 times more expensive. See, this concerns me. Not just the culture at large, this sort of thing, and I'm not one of these people who's all like, oh, think of the children, whatever. I'm not a moral panic person. This isn't about a moral panic. I'm genuinely concerned because I grew up, when I was younger, video games were just starting to become shady in their monetization, right? At least in the way they are now. So like when I was like, I don't even know, probably 10, Horse Armor came out for Oblivion, to give you a frame of reference for the video gaming when I grew up. DLC became a more standard thing after that, and I don't have a problem with DLC or expansions, necessarily. Then came microtransactions, which gets a little Then came the loot boxes. Kids who grew up on loot boxes and generations of kids who grew up on loot boxes, I feel like we're going to see such a spike in gambling addiction in the upcoming generation of Gen Z and Gen Alpha because of these things. It's effectively teaching kids and just training them and priming them to gamble. It's so not good. And that plays into stuff like NFTs. It's really not good. It is a terrible mindset, and it's a bad thing to teach kids. Anti-Pretzels is at least with shit like Team Fortress 2 Market, you can at least resell what you get from a case or box. I mean, you can resell NFTs too if you can find someone who will buy them. But that's a problem when your NFT project goes tits up and no one wants any.
Here they have partnered up with NFT collections like Cool Cats. We have Creature Worlds, Toy Boogers. We also have Crypto Moris. The Capsule House is another one. I believe Alien Friends is one too, Robotos, and a few other NFT collections as well. I would say it's pretty cool that they have partnered up and collaborated with other NFT collections within the space, because it shows to me that other NFT projects, right, extremely prominent ones, do have respect for Three Landers and also think it's a legitimate project. Now,
Scammers have respect for other scammers? It's crazy.
Moving on and taking a look at the community behind this NFT collection here, we can see that they have accumulated close to 33,000 followers on Twitter, and then on
okay, I have 21,000. Where's my NFT money? I'm joking. I wouldn't want NFT money.
Discord, they have close to 39,000 people within this server, right, and a high amount of engagement for a lot of the posts that they are posting within this overall Discord server. Now, it seems that the community isn't absolutely massive. It's not one of the larger communities we have seen within the NFT space, but it does seem to be pretty organic, and a lot of people do seem to be really excited for these NFTs here. Now, to give some of my final thoughts on what I think about Three Landers, starting off with the artwork, I would say I'm a pretty big fan of the overall art style.
I wonder if their like viewership got boosted at all after this, or their Twitter following. Let me see, do they have links to it? Three Landers Twitter. Let's see if they got any more Twitter followers after this. They were at like 30 something thousand. They got about 1,000 followers from him doing this video. So he effectively brought people to their project. Nick says, what if that NFT monkey was Robin Hooded from scammers? I don't know. The thing about that is, Robin Hood gave from the rich, or took from the rich and gave to the poor. The poor don't need NFTs. They're worthless.
And art aesthetic I am seeing right here. I'm a fan of the artist and the art style that he has implemented here for this NFT collection, and I think it's super colorful. It's extremely fun. I think they're going to fit well as profile pictures and definitely fits the narrative.
Hey, you know what I can do if I want a profile picture? I can commission an artist to do it for $30 to $50, depending on the artist, or up if they're, you know, a known artist. And it doesn't cost $6,000, and it's not on the blockchain. It's awesome. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, boss. J.I. Lost says, scammers respect other scammers. There's honor amongst thieves now in the tech bro sector, it seems.
And what we are seeing succeed within the NFT space at this current moment. Moving on to give my thoughts about the team and founders behind this NFT collection here. It is nice to see that the main person, the artist, and the co-founder behind this NFT collection is public and is respected by other individuals within the NFT space, whom I respect as well. Something else to note is that not all of the members within this team here are public, so it's a mixture of a public and anonymous team. Moving on to give some of my opinions on the roadmap and the utility behind these NFTs here. I'm a person who enjoys looking at a roadmap or looking at the ideas that the team and founders have in mind.
What ideas? There's no ideas yet.
For developing this project forward. I'm a person who likes seeing that, right? I'm not a person who really enjoys just being surprised in every step of the way. I enjoy being surprised, don't get me wrong, but I'd like to see an overall sense of a direction for the project. Now, something to note, which I did mention here earlier on, it is definitely a good sign that they have partnered up and collaborated with other NFT collections, prominent ones in fact within the NFT space, so that is always a good sign for me as well. And hopefully in this regard they are going to be able to provide a little bit more in terms of their roadmap and utility behind these NFTs once they do release. And finally, like I said, the community seems to be pretty organic, not the largest community ever, but it does seem to be that tight-knit community who are really excited for this NFT collection's launch. Now, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these NFTs perform on the secondary market once they do end up releasing, so I'll keep a close eye on that, right, to see how the overall performance is for this NFT collection, as well as what they're going to be able to announce and what type of things they're going to be able to build after the release. So I'm probably not going to be minting out the gate, and I'm going to be waiting to see how they are going to end up performing on the secondary market and see what type of performance and what type of things they are announcing for the collection and what they are building after their mint. So for me, I would say there's some good things that I like here. There's some things I don't like, right? So I'm overall like on the fence just to see how this collection performs. Moving on, the next NFT collection we're going to be talking about here is going to be called the
Oh god, is this one that's anime?
Ethereal, right? And these will be releasing sometime in 2022. We do not know an exact release date just yet. We do know that there will be 10,000 of these NFTs we are taking a look at here. We are not familiar with the price as of right now, and that is all we do know for the project at this very moment. First, taking a look at the art behind this NFT collection here, we can see it's of this anime art style that we are taking a look at on screen. It consists of this extremely colorful as well as...
Oh god, this is less unique than even most NFTs. Like, the actual drawing of the woman in the NFT looks better, but like the variation between the different NFTs is even less than usual because of the more detailed art style. So it's literally just the same pose, the same exact woman, just with different like hues of skin, hair color, background, some objects in the foreground. Oh, this one's so bad. Why did he pick these ones?
It's like really sleek design in my opinion. Well,
this is a sleek design to you? Oh god, I've seen better designs in Rule 34 subreddits.
Really taking a look at the artwork, in my personal opinion, I feel like there is a lot of emotion being provided back to the person who is viewing this art, right? The female character seems to be thinking about something deeply, or...
What the fuck are you talking about.
Just having a lot of emotion attached to this piece. And taking a look at the artists and founders behind this NFT collection right here, we can see that it contains a multitude of different people, but the main person we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Asia or Asia Ladawaska. And I am probably mispronouncing that, so I really do apologize there. Now, this artist is absolutely huge on Instagram, right? Amassing over 1 million followers on the platform, right? Featuring a lot of this anime style art that we can see on screen here. She also has a tremendous amount of engagement and just a lot of people really enjoying the artwork that she is putting out.
Didn't even take like different works of hers and turn them into NFTs. She did one design and then just all the different variations. My god. Glasses? Which glass? Okay, glasses. I'll pick some glasses.
So it seems that this person is public, and it also seems that they have amassed a pretty large following prior to releasing this NFT collection here. Now, taking a look at the other founders and people associated with this project, they do seem to be anonymous or pseudo-anonymous. I couldn't find really details about these other people that are involved with the project, so that is something to take into account. And now moving on, let's take a look at the roadmap and utility behind these NFTs right here. And we can see that the roadmap is featured on their website, so we'll go through it right now. We can see at 0% sold, this is basically just building a community and preparing for their launch. We can see at 20% sold, community Ethereal wallet is created, community vote per purchases of one NFT artworks from various creators, 3 NFT giveaway at 40% sold, merch store created.
A lot of the NFT giveaways are bullshit, by the way. I don't know if anyone else follows or looks at NFT accounts sometimes on Twitter, but often they'll do like and retweet this, blah, 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 and we'll do a giveaway and whatever. And it's a way to get engagement on their tweets and try and get their community and their project in front of more and more people's eyes and get more people into NFTs, because once again, NFTs basically exist to pump Ethereum or whatever blockchain the crypto happens to be on, and a way to pump the value of whatever particular project the NFT is a collective part of. So anyway, it's been documented many times in the past and discovered that the giveaways are actually given to people within the project, so it appears that they're giving it away to some fan, but really it's an alt account of one of the people working on the project, so they've effectively given away nothing. It's kind of another form of wash trading. Wash trading is something they do pretty commonly too, where someone will sell an NFT for a higher price than they bought it, but they'll be selling it to an alt wallet of their own to give the appearance that there is demand. They're artificially inflating demand by transferring things from themselves to a sock puppet and raising the price to make people who are stupid, the greater fool in the greater fool scam comes in and goes, wow, a lot of people keep buying this for more and more money. I should buy it right now and I'll definitely sell it later. And then they buy it from the one person who's just been trading it back and forth with themselves over and over, and then they're left with the bag because no one actually wants to buy it.
150 exclusive prints sent to the Ethereal.
To be clear, I'm not making any explicit claims about any specific project. I am saying that this has been documented before, and wash trading is a very common tactic in the NFT game. H-Baird says, did you hear that Melania Trump bought her own NFTs? I did hear that. That's a good example of wash trading. J.I. Lost says, if you're looking at roadmaps so much, might I suggest getting lost on a random highway in a random state? I'll wait for you. I promise. I believe you. That sounds like a very genuine promise.
Holders at 60% sold. We have Ethereal coloring book with exclusive covers sent to 100 holders. And then we have a hand-drawn original ethereal art created by the artist sent to 10 random holders and a 1 ETH giveaway. Then at 80% sold, we have murals, a massive painting on a building showcasing ethereal art. We also have 2.5% of sales dedicated to purchasing single NFTs from artists, as well as a 1 ETH giveaway. And then at 100% sold, we have Phase 2 begins, the Ethereal Artist Spotlight monthly event, partnerships and expansion, and the Ethereal Art Tour. So that is the roadmap behind this NFT collection right here. Now we're going to take a look at the overall community size and how many people are following the Ethereal NFT collection.
See, this one has more than double the size of the other one, and I bet it's just because it's an anime girl. NFTs have a very specific audience.
And we can see here on Twitter that they have accumulated close to 83,000 followers here on the platform, and then on Discord they have accumulated past 100,000 people within that server. And with that out of the way, let me give some of my final opinions on what I think about the Ethereal NFT collection, right? And first, starting off with the artwork, I have to say I'm a pretty big fan of this art style that I'm seeing right here. I personally enjoy the anime art style, and I think a lot of the NFTs really have a lot of emotion attached to it.
Confirmed. He is a fan of anime.
Like I was saying earlier on here in today's review. So I would say I'm a fan of the artwork, and that kind of moves us in to talk about the team and founders behind this NFT collection and my thoughts about them. Now, as stated, the artist behind this NFT collection has been creating art for quite some time, especially in that anime art style, and has accumulated a massive following here on Instagram. Now, personally for me, that is always something good to see when an NFT collection is developed by an artist that has a prominent following right prior to releasing NFTs. It shows me that they have the capability of creating a community and an audience without having to drop an NFT collection. And that same...
What does that tell you about the intrinsic state of the NFT market if they don't even have to do anything yet in order to garner a large audience? Just saying. Sounds like a bubble. Nick says, NFTs, nice fantasy titties. That's the, you're looking for the, I'm not kidding, this is a real NFT project. NF tits. You're looking for NF tits. That is a real NFT project. And it's exactly what it sounds like.
Same audience that this artist ended up creating, right?
Their roadmap involves making a comic book series based on NF tits. And their particular claims were very funny in their talk about creating a comic book of NF tits. Because they were like, the comic book industry is a so-and-so $1 million industry, and if we could even get 1% of the market, we'd have so much money. And it's like, you're not going to get 1% of the comic book market. What are you talking about? It's dominated by Marvel, DC, manga, Dark Horse, Boom, Image, and that's about it. Sometimes you'll get, like, indie comics that come out that are popular. You are not going to get 1% of the market with your NF Tits comic. You're not. It's delusional. 1% is huge for a market as big as comic books. And I'm aware comic books aren't near as big as they were like in the 90s during the, once again, we're talking about sort of scams and speculation. There was a large speculation boom in comics in the 90s. That was a bubble that popped and basically wiped out the comic book industry for a while and destroyed countless local comic book shops. But it's just funny to me that people are delusional enough to think that they can take over 1% of an entire type of media with a comic book entirely based around their pixel images of tits. Narnandia Owl says there are NFT girlfriends now too. I saw that. That one's funny. It's terrible. It's a scam, but it's just funny that they know their audience.
Right, could possibly be the market that could want to purchase these NFTs once they are released. Now,
I said manga. I said the market is controlled by Marvel, DC, manga, Image, Boom, Dark Horse.
For me, I would like to see that the whole team...
Oh yeah, manga's huge right now. Manga's, I don't know, I haven't looked recently. I think manga is at least trending to overtake Marvel and DC. I don't know if it currently is, though. Dregory Term says, did I hear about these? Oh no, what are these ones? Oh, yes. Yes. I heard about these ones. Yeah. These are NFTs that are computer-generated images of people of color, and they're called meta slaves. I don't think I need to comment on that. I think everyone in my audience is respectable enough to understand everything wrong with that, and this is a spin-off that is baby meta slaves, which is the same thing, the same idea, but with babies. So that speaks for itself about the state of the NFT market and the people within it.
Team is public, right? But I believe the only person that is public is going to be the artist and creator behind this NFT collection right here. But I would like to see the management as well as the developers behind this NFT collection, whoever is working on it, to be public as well. Those are always just things for me to look out for to try and vet a team properly. So it's better than being completely anonymous, but I would like to see more from this aspect. Now, regarding the roadmap and utility behind these NFTs right here, this is where I'm probably going to be the most critical, right? I didn't see anything specifically in this roadmap that really stood out out to me, and honestly, I saw a lot of simple stuff. There's a lot of other NFT collections out there that I would say offer more utility and different sorts of benefits, and also provide more promises in order of what they're going to do for their NFT collection moving forward. Now, of course, there can be surprises, partnerships, and collaborations and different types of utility that can be announced after the release of these NFTs, but everything that they made kind of public here, I was just not really impressed. So I would just say this NFT project lacks in this regard, and hopefully they are going to be able to provide different levels of utility and benefits to the holders of these NFTs here. So that is definitely going to be a wait and see approach for me to see how they end up developing that portion of their project here. And finally, to give my thoughts on the community here, like I said, they have been able to develop a pretty strong community and following here on Twitter as well as on Discord. It's definitely one of the larger NFT communities we have seen within the NFT space, with 83,000 people following them on Twitter and then over 100,000 people inside of that Discord server. A lot of people
just to get a shitty anime NFT profile pic. There are people with anime profile pics already, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on them. Granted, they're usually either there are two kinds of anime profile pic people: trans people and Nazis, and there's no in between unless they're trans Nazis, which weirdly do exist. Hernandy Owl says, I say this as a trans person, by the way. I say this as a trans person. Lots of trans people have anime profile pics, and lots of Nazis do. And weirdly, there are Nazi trans people. It's very strange. Hernandy Owl says, so he's more critical of a lackluster roadmap than the previous one, which had no roadmap at all? That's why you don't make promises, because no promise is apparently better than promises that aren't good enough. They don't lie enough. Gimpvet says, in their search for utility NFTs, I must ask if they could stop looking for questions that fit their predisposed answers by looking to find a way to make NFTs useful for everyone. They're a hammer looking for a nail, and they haven't found one yet. You feel called out? I hope you're trans.
People seem to be excited for these NFTs right here, and the people within that Discord server seem to also be very engaged, right, and looking forward to the release of these NFTs. In the end, for me, I would say,
what does Pokemon fan art count as? Furries.
This is kind of similar to Three Landers in a sense that I am going to wait to see how they end up performing on the secondary market before making a decision for myself. I want to see how people in the NFT community end up reacting to the mint of this NFT collection and what they are going to be announcing in terms of utility and the roadmap moving forward after their mint. So those are just some of my thoughts behind this project right here. Like I said, there are certain things that I like within this NFT collection and other things I do not. And then finally, the last NFT collection we're going to be talking about here today is called Garbage Friends. Now, there is very little details behind the release of...
Oh, great. That's a pretty succinct summary of the NFT market right now, isn't it? It's literally NFTs of sentient garbage cans. Great. Have you ever wanted an NFT with all the charm of one of those bootleg Calvin pissing car decals? Garbage Friends.
Of this NFT collection here. I can kind of speculate that it might release sometime in 2022, right? But other than that, that is all we know as of right now. There's also extremely limited information regarding the art style and artwork for this NFT collection right here. All we can assume is that the artwork is going to be associated with this garbage can that we are taking a look at right here. Now, the reason why there's so much hype behind this NFT collection right here, even though it was just recently announced a few days ago, is because it is tied to Motion Marcus, which is also the creator behind one of the most hyped NFT collections that is releasing, called Invisible Friends. You have probably heard about Invisible Friends as, like I said, this is one of the most hyped NFT collections that has ever released. And
why? What do they do? Nick says that NFT collection will be worse than the Garbage Pail Kids movie. Don't you dare speak ill of one of the greatest cinematic achievements of all time, okay? How dare you? Get out of my house. H-Baird says, Garbage Friends. Wait, they're created an NFT of my first high school? Dr. Gamble says, how long till they make recursive NFTs like NFTs of NFTs? This is an NFT that represents theoretical ownership of this entire NFT collection. You don't own it, but you have an NFT of the NFT collection that people have NFTs of. And then we're going to make an NFT of the NFT of the NFT collection, and then you can buy that.
Creator behind those NFTs is also going to...
Finance people are fucking crazy. Have you noticed that?
...be the creator.
Simple Cat Girl says, it's always funny to those pick-me people is when they go on about how you're making us look bad. Like, mate, if us bad one didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to make money off us being a pick-me.
Behind Garbage Friends, and we can see right here that in his bio, right, Motion Marcus Magnuson, he also includes Garbage Friends. And we can read some notes that the Twitter account has been posting regarding this NFT collection right here, because like I said, we can't really do a structured overview or a review of this NFT collection because there is so limited information. We can read in this tweet right here that some quick notes: this project hasn't been confirmed, it's just a Twitter thing for now, but of course it is probably an NFT collection or an NFT project that possibly will be releasing here in the future. There isn't any Discord at this time, but will be if we proceed. I'm still a trash can and nothing will change that fact, but if we decide to proceed, it'll happen after our Invisible Friends drop.
So this isn't even a confirmed project yet. This is the idea of a project and he is talking about it. Why?
How we treat early access in terms of holders and public has not been decided, so do not invest your whole life in making fan art for the sake of EA spots. And EA spots means early access spots or whitelist spots, essentially. Still love the fan art, but you get it. With that being said, what would you like to see for this NFT collection right here? People voted on a 10K PFP project, 5K animated project, and then something else. And it seems that the majority of individuals did vote on a 5K animated project as well. They also
can't wait to spend $10,000 on a gif of a trash can getting peed on and throwing up. J.I. Lost says, speaking of speculation bubbles, it was recently discovered that there was a popular auction house with an attached used video game grading business who are gradually raising used video game prices over a few years to affect the whole market and created a false speculation bubble. Last I heard, a standard issue original Super Mario Bros. 64 cartridge sold for $1.6 million. Also, trans Nazis, 2 words, Blair White. Yeah, video game grading has been an issue. The awful thing, and I collect movies, it's starting to seep into movies. If you go and search eBay, there are organizations that are trying to basically make fetch happen in regard to grading VHS tapes, which is the stupidest thing ever, considering VHS tapes have a lifespan of like 30 years anyway. A comic book, I understand, you know, why you have grading for comic books, right? A comic book is a physical item like this. Like a comic book, that's literally a piece of paper that you can read. Although if you have an Action Comics #1 that wasn't a reprint, you certainly wouldn't want to take it out and read it. Nonetheless, it's a physical object that has a utility, and you want to make sure the quality is good. A VHS tape has a very specific purpose, and that purpose is to be viewed as a film. And VHS tape only lasts so long, right? The tape gets erased over time. It's a magnetic tape. And I've been told, I don't know if this is the actual and only reason, but basically exposure to Earth's magnetic fields at all times over like 30 or 40 years screws the tape. So if you have a Jurassic Park VHS that you bought in the 90s, you might have a decade left to still watch it before it completely stops working. So people grading VHS tapes is the stupidest thing ever. And I've started seeing it with DVDs too. And again, it's just people trying to create another speculation market. It's gross. I hate it. They're the kind of people that, like, buy up, 50 PS5s with a bot so they can resell them. They have no interest in the actual collecting of these things or the culture of collecting. They are only interested in making money. It's gross. Nandy Owl says, why make fan arts of an NFT? Whatever you draw will be more valuable than the NFT.
also going to say in another tweet here that a lot of people are connecting with this concept.
Yeah, if you have any VHS that you'd like saved, whether it's like a wedding video or like family home videos, get them transferred now. They will disappear. They will be gone. So there's a PSA. If you have any VHS that you really, really, really love, get them transferred. They're going to die. Nick says, people who do that need to have their assets seized. It's getting to be bullshit. I don't disagree.
concept for this NFT collection, and they love that. We'll take a serious look at this project after our Invisible Friends mint, but until, we'll put a pause on things right here. For the people who found this page and didn't read the bio, we just started this as a fun thing 2 days ago. And like I said, the biggest reason why there is just so much attention revolving around this NFT collection here, even though there is extremely limited information, is because it is tied to Motion Marcus, which is also the creator behind Invisible Friends. And it just goes...
Lily Love Stuff says, let me tell you about the horror show of trying to buy the Nana manga. Volume 1 was selling for 175 plus until the English publisher re-released it. God, I love re-releases. There are sometimes Blu-rays that I want really bad, but they are in like the upper hundreds. There's one particular, I'm trying to collect all the Godzilla movies. I have a decent bit of them. I have the whole first era. I'm forgetting the name of it now for some reason. So I have like the first 16 Godzilla movies and I have the recent ones, but the second series, the Showa, no, I have the Showa era. The Showa era is the first one. Either way, I'm trying to collect them. Most of the Blu-rays go for like $10 or something like that, and they're double features, so they're really good prices. But there's one in particular that I want to pick up sometime, but it's out of print, so it's like $165 for one Godzilla movie. And I am absolutely not doing that, so I'm hoping it'll get re-released at some point. It's always a pain. I love re-releases, though. They're always really nice. Simple Cat Girl says, this terrifying need to monetize everything is sad because sometimes it comes from people who were in a effed financial situation, but instead of being angry at the system designed to F us over, they're mad that the system didn't give more opportunities to be the rich a-holes. Yeah. Dan Olson talked about that in his Line Goes Up documentary, basically people being not upset that the system put a boot on their neck, but being upset that there are not more opportunities for them to be the boot. Jitara says, my grandmother had a bad habit of accidentally recording daytime TV shows over our irreplaceable home videos. Probably going to take your advice and get what's left digitized. Good idea. Heisei's the second era. Yeah, I think it's something from the Heisei series that I'm missing. Narnia Owl says, so let me get this straight. He's trying to hype this brand of NFTs that aren't set in stone yet because it's a group of people known for other series of NFTs that isn't even out yet either. Hey, you know, grifter's gotta grift.
Goes to show how much demand...
You have a Blu-ray of Godzilla vs. Biollante you bought for $8.99 new. Yeah, the Biollante ones are hard to get. Godzilla vs. Biollante. Let's see the current prices for Godzilla vs. Biollante. $153, $350, $200, $192, $136. That one's in Japanese. I don't know if it has English subtitles, but that one's only $36. $219. Yeah, some of those got... That one's been out of print for a while. It's a pain. The English rights to the Godzilla movies on home video are owned by different companies too, so it's a pain in the ass to get a complete collection. It's really nice that Criterion did the first era all on one set that I got, and it's beautiful and it's great. I hope they end up doing it for the next eras and they do re-releases because it'd make it so much easier. I'm kind of holding out for that and hoping they end up doing that.
There is behind Invisible...
Am I going to get the Blu-ray of the Chucky series when it comes out? Yeah. I own all the Child's Play movies, so yes. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to. I'm probably going to wait for the Blu-ray at this point.
Friends, and how much demand is being created for Motion Marcus NFT projects here in the future. Now, like I said, it's hard to give an overview on what I think about this NFT collection right here because there is not much information that we can go based off of. But to just give my thoughts on what I think about Garbage Friends, I'm a big fan of Motion Marcus. I think he has done incredible stuff within the animation and art space as well, and he clearly is doing something great with Invisible Friends too, and hopefully that mint does end up going pretty...
What great thing is he doing? Making money off of GIFs? How is that great?
Well, but I would personally like to see Motion Marcus really purely focus on Invisible Friends for the time being and that NFT collection. I am not sure where Garbage Friends is going to personally fit in that Invisible Friends universe. It definitely is going to be associated with it somehow because I don't think he's going to be focusing on two different NFT collections, two different brands that he is creating. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what Marcus ends up doing with the Garbage Friends right here, whether he decides to close off the project or move on forward with it. This could be one of the possible airdrops that could be coming for the future of Invisible Friends holders, right? Similar to what we saw with Mutant Ape Yacht Club for Bored Ape Yacht Club. So that is just something to keep in mind, and I would also assume that Garbage Friends would also have more NFTs available for this collection here, considering there's only going to be 5,000 NFTs for the Invisible Friends NFT collection, which I would say is a
Artificial scarcity does not inherently make your shitty picture worthwhile. I could make a one-off picture of a turd that doesn't make it valuable just because there's one of them. Catherine CD says, I saw you post your MCU collection on Twitter. Good thing you have the Netflix shows as they're about to be MIA on streaming for a bit. Yeah, I saw. It is what it is.
Pretty small amount compared to the amount of hype and the amount of people that are looking to possibly be purchasing one of those NFTs. So if people are excited to join the Invisible Friends ecosystem and really believe in the artist motion Marcus, this could possibly be another way in the future to get access to that community. So this is something to definitely just keep into account and keep on your radar here for the future. And those were all the new NFTs that I did want to talk about here in today's video. There's certainly some exciting stuff that is happening around the NFT space right now, and we'll see which one of these ends up succeeding in the very end. Now, something to note, just because I mentioned these projects here in today's video, that does not mean that these projects will end up succeeding in the long term.
No shit.
These types of videos are here to just provide you information and an overview of some.
There's no way Disney Plus in the United States will host the Netflix Marvel shows. They're way too violent. Zero chance. Maybe on Hulu.
Some of these upcoming hyped
Internationally, maybe, though, because they do have, like, adult stuff on Disney and Plus internationally, but in the United States, they do not.
NFT collections and projects that will be dropping here in the foreseeable future. So just please do keep that in mind. And now I want to hear some of your thoughts. What did you think about these NFT collections we mentioned here in today's video?
Did he steal all of those? Since he has them in the thumbnail, he must have. He's a dirty right clicker.
Is there any specific one that stood out to you? I would love to hear some of your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you also want to get better access to me and what I am potentially buying and looking into in the NFT space, make sure to go follow my Twitter at NFTverse.
I'm hoping at some point, and I know I've gotten off the NFT topic because the video, I mean, the stream isn't almost over, but if you're watching this on YouTube, the video is almost over. I don't think this is going to happen, but I'm like in the Disney movie club, and they do exclusives sometimes, and I really, really hope they put some of the Defenders stuff on Blu-ray because it never got released by Netflix. I don't think they'll do it, but I want it because right now all I have are bootlegs, and bootlegs are sketchy, and they have a much shorter shelf life than regular DVDs and Blu-rays. A burned DVD or Blu-ray has a shelf life of about 10 years. A printed one, like ones you get from the store, is 30 to 100 years. So.
I'm constantly posting about different types of things that is happening within the NFT space right now, so you are definitely not going to want to miss out. And that basically wraps it up for today's video. So if you ended up enjoying, once again, make sure to hit that subscribe.
The Defender stuff is available on iTunes for digital purchase. I don't want them for digital purchase. I want the physical copies because I collect Blu-rays.
Subscribe and like button. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And with that being said, I will catch you all later.
So that guy, again, shilling for complete scam market, in my opinion. So that's him. Like, if I just wanted digital, I know how to use, like, a BitTorrent, which I would never do because it's very immoral to take things from the Walt Disney Corporation. I'm not winking behind the sunglasses. Anyway, I have digital versions of these things. I collect physical, and I like it to have it physical. What stupid thing did Andrew Yang say? Let's see.
Hello all, I have some exciting news. A couple of years ago, I started an advocacy org in DC to lobby for anti-poverty measures like cash relief and the child tax credit. But now I've come to realize that the most profound opportunity to fight poverty lies in Web3 technologies. Unfortunately, our leaders in DC don't.
How in the world is your crypto bullshit going to pull people out of poverty? What are you doing?
Really get these technologies. They're a little bit nervous about them, so that's what we have to change. We have to let them know that we can give rise to a new generation of financial services and create tons of jobs right here in the US. I am proud to announce the launch of Lobby 3. We're going to bring the community together and talk sense to the folks in DC to make sure that this remains the land of innovation that it has always been. And we would love for you to join us. Join our Discord, go to lobby3.io, and let's build a future together. Let's go. It's going to be great.
What an ass. Good lord. I'm glad he did not win. Nick says, speaking of collections, I have a music collection amassed over 17.5 years of over 92 gigabytes and 22,281 songs. Wow, nice. So Jordan Peterson, and if you ask me the connection here, I don't know. Don't ask me. Jordan Peterson doesn't have anything to do with crypto to my knowledge, but Jordan Peterson has been confirmed as a speaker at the 2022 Bitcoin conference. Why? I don't know. Willie Lovestuff said, didn't Yang and Gabbard start a third party? I have no idea. Oh, so Jordan Peterson is an asshole. Jordan Peterson is a dumb asshole. Anyway, here were some of the comments on the Reddit after that got announced. I've actually considered getting out of crypto because of this stuff. If it's the new alt-right currency, they can keep it. And someone says, absolutely. And this sub has turned into an astroturfing haven for alt-right BS. It reeks of Russian trolls that popped up all over Reddit hyping Trump in 2016. This person says, great. We've got Ted Cruz and Jordan Peterson. Next, let's get Alex Jones on our side. Really try and get Bitcoin adopted by the most controversial people possible. That'll help convince everyone. This person says, exactly. The more crackpots we add, the more I think my family is right about crypto being a pump and dump. I'll eventually lose everything I have invested in. No shit. Are we the baddies? Yeah, my reaction too. If we get Ted Cruz, Tucker, and this guy, maybe we're in the wrong camp. You don't say. Yeah, crypto is more and more becoming a not just a libertarian thing, but like a right-wing thing in general. It's very weird. Ronandia Owl says, here's the connection. The guy needs money. Right said Rob, thanks for 12 months. Happy anniversary. James Stephanie Sterling yells about NFTs some more. What? I do enjoy Stephanie's...
What a moment!
Well, that's better than anything I got in America.
Fuck if I know. Hello, everyone.
Oh, I'm not going to watch this on stream. I'll watch it off stream, though. Freedom Convoy truckers struggle to cash out Bitcoin worth $1 million. Bitcoiners jumped to donate to the anti-vax mandate protest in Canada, but now they have to figure out how to cash it out. Gee, a bunch of people super invested in cryptocurrency are also fans of anti-vax whack jobs? That's crazy. Who could have guessed? After authorities issued an order to freeze millions of dollars in donations sent to anti-vaccine protesters in Canada via a Christian crowdfunding site, Bitcoin has taken up an unexpected starring role in the saga of the so-called Freedom Convoy. So yeah, for those who didn't see, first they did a, was it a GoFundMe or was it one of the other ones? Either way, some big crowdfunding site, they raised like $8 million or something for these people. And that site decided, we don't want to be a part of this, so we're freezing this. They're originally, I think, going to just donate it to some cause as determined by the creators of the crowdfunding campaign, but then people got mad and they reversed and they just refunded all that. Then they move over to some smaller Christian crowdfunding site. Then a court in Canada freezed that because they decided it was going towards illegal activities. So now in order to evade the law, they're trying to use Bitcoin. Bitcoiners scrambled to seize the unprecedented opportunity to prove the value of the digital currency, which is peer-to-peer protocol that, like torrents, cannot be censored except for at key centralized points, such as exchanges. When the Trudeau government announced new emergency powers to quell protests on Monday, including targeting cryptocurrency donations, Bitcoin zeal was redoubled. We've been waiting for the level end boss for this cycle. I think this tells you everything you need to know about the mentality of the people supporting Bitcoin when they're comparing real-life political issues to a video game boss. And let me be clear, I'm a capital G gamer, okay? As embarrassing as that is. But I wouldn't use that as a metaphor in this situation. Just tonally, doesn't sound right. I think we finally have one with the Canadian government, said Bitcoin programmer and commentator Jimmy Song in a tweet. If they can't stop hashtag Bitcoin from going to the truckers, I think we easily triple the price. It does indeed look like Bitcoin may be a final financial lifeline to the protesters, which have caused disruption across Canada while boosting far-right groups and inspiring copycats around the world. But now they have to cash out. Quote, "None of us know how to use the goddamn Bitcoin," said one participant in a viral Twitter Spaces organized by convoy participants that was overrun by trolls on Monday night. Paul McLeod of BuzzFeed News reported on Twitter. Elminato with a link and 100 bits.
Go home, gamer girl.
One fundraising effort called Honk Honk Hodl raised over 21 Bitcoin worth nearly $1 million. On Monday night, the campaign announced in a tweet that it was finished raising funds and would be handing things over to convoy organizer Benjamin Ditcher and, quote, "Nobody Caribou," a pseudo-anonymous self-described professional orange pillar who has been making the rounds in crypto world talking about Bitcoin and the convoy protests on shows like What Bitcoin Did. To mitigate choke points, we will immediately begin decentralizing the Bitcoin and getting it to truckers. Nobody Caribou tweeted on Tuesday morning. Fact, it is legal to give Bitcoins to law-abiding citizens. This is what we will do. Quote, by the way, this plan is so convoluted and really funny considering a lot of the demographic of people doing this are older Gen Xers or boomers, or how do I put this? The type of people who you would stereotypically assume to be very tech illiterate. The kind of people who don't understand which remote to use to turn on their TV versus their DVD player, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is their plan to get this Bitcoin to this group of people. Quote, plan. Give Bitcoin to 200 truckers in a verifiable way, he continued. Distribute seed words preloaded with 10 million and 21 Satoshi and instructions for truckers for securing/using funds. Bitcoin wallets can be accessed by seed phrases, kind of a master password, and so it's possible to simply write a seed phrase down on paper and use that to restore a Bitcoin wallet full of funds. If that made your head spin, hold on tight. The planning for how to distribute 21 Bitcoin occurred through Tuesday morning and was led by someone going by J.W. Weatherman, a Bitcoin advocate and likely pseudonym referencing the TV show Arrested Development, whom Nobody Caribou said in a tweet was consulting on the plan to distribute the cryptocurrency to truckers. The plan would be put together completely in the open, Weatherman tweeted, posting a link to a Google Doc. So far, the plan is wildly complicated. If the distribution is to more than 50 people, the planning document states the volunteers will follow a complex process of creating a wallet on a smartphone, recording the seed phrase, sending a small amount of Bitcoin to it, then erasing the wallet with another volunteer restoring the wallet and following the same procedure, transferring the full amount and erasing it again. Once the volunteers place the instructions and seed words into the envelope and seal it, should be the numbered and squiggly random lines should be drawn on the envelope to help with later identification. The Google Doc states, quote, finally, a photo of the envelope should be taken and posted to social media before the distribution. The purpose of this is to allow recipients to complain on social media with reasonable evidence if they do not receive the funds. Let me be clear. I work online for a living. I use computers on a daily basis. I have a phone that cost $1,800 and it does this. I'm online all the time. I know how to use computers. I'm not an idiot. And if someone gave me this amount of instructions, I'd be like, this is stupid. What are you talking about? And this is supposed to go to older people and people who are anti-vaxxers who statistically are not in the most intelligent group of people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this plan is going to work. Felicia Angel says, my dad is tech illiterate for some stuff, but he would never do cryptos or NFTs. Volunteers need to remain in a room until the process is complete, with no more than one person leaving at a time to use the washroom, and with food being delivered. Of course, any device used in the process must be destroyed, such as the printer for the paper seed phrases. So they're going to print the code phrases out, and then go Office Space on the printer and destroy it because they're afraid someone's going to hack into the printer, take from its memory the code that they printed off, and then steal the Bitcoin. Hats off. Bumble Homestead. What would you like? Flower crown? Can do. Where's the flower crown? If I can find it. Where'd it go? There it is. Ugh. Oh, it got bendy. One sec. Yeah, so this entire plan is convoluted and stupid, even by crypto standards. Just saying. Not gonna work. The printer is the single best device to steal because it holds a copy of all the seed words, the document states. The volunteers should work together to destroy this printer. A list of equipment needed for the project includes large pliers, leather gloves, cutting shears, the most expensive available, a screwdriver, and trash bags to accomplish this purpose. H. Baird says, they know they can write on a piece of paper with a pen, right? Seems less wasteful than printers. If they want to be extra secure, they can smash the pen. As the Google Doc developed, Weatherman tweeted out questions and calls for advice to his followers. Anyone want to write up a procedure for destroying a USB printer in a hotel room using tools that are easy to obtain? He asked in one tweet. The process of actually putting the envelopes in people's hands will involve videoing protesters' faces, which the planning documents admits is not good for privacy, but necessary for verifying that volunteers do not steal the bitcoins themselves. So they're creating a chain of evidence as to who they're giving this money to when the Canadian government, and I'm not talking about the legality or morality of anything going on in Canada. I'm not having that discourse. I'm just saying the Canadian government is saying people giving money to these people is aiding illegal activities, and they're using their emergency powers to seize that money and potentially arrest people involved in this. And they're going to actively film this and the people they are giving the money to, which is just brilliant. You're nailing it, guys. The criteria for distribution needs to be as difficult to meet as possible. In the case of the trucker protest in Ottawa, we can take advantage of the cost of acquiring a semi-truck and getting into position to receive a donation. The planning document explains, the goal in that case would be to distribute Bitcoin to owners of trucks that have been present at the protest for at least 5 days that are closest to the Capitol building. The 4 volunteers should hand out envelopes and video the interaction, the document continues. They should be sure that they capture the general area, the face of the recipient, and show the distribution criteria has been met. For example, at the trucker protest, trucker, should confirm that this is his truck, he is close to the Capitol, and he has been in place for at least 5 days. So they're randomly gonna go find people with trucks that have been there and just go, you want Bitcoin? Brilliant. If less than 50 people get the bitcoins, then volunteers will simply walk them through creating a wallet on their phone and backing up the seed phrase on paper, the doc says. Eventually, Weatherman started a Twitter space for planning the Bitcoin distribution. At the time of writing, 5 people were in the voice chat. In the chat, Weatherman compared giving Bitcoin to protesters to giving them a loaded gun, in the sense that things could go wrong if handled improperly. Genius. So that's like 50% of Bitcoin gets lost. So that's like 50% of the Bitcoin gets lost, and the other 50% is for the truckers. That's totally fine. That's acceptable. They're acceptable. Their criteria for success involves losing $500,000 through technical incompetence. Can I just point that out? Their success condition is, we might lose about $500,000. Brilliant. I think I said 80% in the doc, but if we have some volunteer that runs off with, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, then it's a Tucker Carlson story. That's what we're really trying to avoid, he said. Yeah, I'd avoid being on Tucker Carlson, too. 80%, he said 82. It's unclear if any of this will actually come to pass, how successful it will be if things really do swing into action, or if the plan will change dramatically as things are clearly still fluid. If Bitcoin does end up in the hands of some protesters, though, it will be vindication to Bitcoin believers and investors and cause to celebrate and salivate over the expected gains. That's one of the stupidest stories I've ever read. Good luck with that. Good luck. My God. Hey guys, have you ever wanted to fractionalize the idea of owning 1/1,000,000th or 1/100th or 1/1000th of a famous painting? No? Too bad. Here's a video.
For the first time in the history of art, the world-famous masterpiece, The Kiss by Gustav Klimt, is joining the metaverse NFT space, and a part of it
Were people asking for that?
Could be yours. Belvedere Museum and ArtAQ are presenting the new era of art collection, turning Gustav Klimt's masterpiece into non-fungible tokens known as NFTs.
Why? Bittergrin says, so in my opinion, they're only making the process this convoluted so they can steal as much as they want. Yeah, in relation to the previous story, most likely. Anti-Pretzel says, here's my remaining bits. I'm exhausted. Love you guys. Thanks for continuing entertainment. Of course. Stone Corbell says, a part of it could be... a part of it could be yours. True.
The Kiss NFT drop on Valentine's Day 2022 is your chance to own a limited edition piece of the digitalized masterpiece. And
in what way do I own it? How do I own it? I own a piece of a painting? How does that work? That doesn't mean anything. You can't just say words. Dr. Gamble with a link.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Same.
And become part of the metaverse history. Using state-of-the-art technology, Belvedere Museum and Art...
Let's see. I could just buy a print of this for $20 on Etsy and I could own the whole thing. I could get a canvas of it for $38.99 on Etsy. I could probably get a really high quality canvas reproduction of it somewhere if it's a famous piece of art. And by the way, this is from 1907 and 1908. Presumably this is in the public domain then. So anyone can print this. They don't even own it. It's a public domain painting. At least it seems like it based on the date that it was created. Gimpvet says, you want to touch my bits, you naughty little girl, Hannah. Why?
ArtAQ converted perfect digital editions of Gustav Klimt's world-famous masterpiece, bringing out details invisible to the naked eye in each individual NFT.
That's an interesting way of saying we digitally chopped this painting up into 1,000 pieces and then you get this much of it.
Digital artwork is broken down into 10,000 tiles.
Oh, 10,000. Ooh.
Each having its
Wikipedia has a super high-res image of the painting already? Yeah, you bet you could right-click it, too.
Distinctive coordinates and dedicated number.
In fact, you know what? I can do it. Hold on. Images. Tools. Size. Large. I want the highest quality I can. Save image, and I'll call it Kiss Art Theft. I am an art thief. Call me Cat woman. Saved. And now I own it. I own all 10,000 NFTs of the kiss. Felicia Angel says, Klimet's pieces were used in an anime opening. Why not chop that up? It's a bad anime. Good opening. Bad anime. Moira Soma says they're making NFTs of parts of Frida Kahlo's Blue House. Frida Kahlo, the communist, who would have nothing but the utmost disgust for NFTs. I hate the world. Dr. Gamble says, wow, look at all the grainy pixels that were invisible to the naked eye. Totally worth $11,000. Chiba Hawk says, I'm just going to digitize the Bible and get rich. Someone's already ahead of you. There are NFTs of Bible verses already. I'm not kidding.
The tiles will be minted one by one, and each unique piece be randomly assigned as exclusive NFTs. Every token is imprinted with a number and will provide a digitalized certificate, which highlights the owned piece of the digitalized Klimt masterpiece. As a gesture of love, or to simply add a personal touch, buyers—
This is so much stupider than, like, buying stars.
Can add a dedication to the NFT and have the possibility to eternalize their Kiss NFT forever.
Again, it's in the public domain. You can go and you can get a really, really high-res picture of this painting and pay to have it printed by anyone who does printing. Like a Kinko's. Are Kinko's still a thing? UPS store does printing, I think. Walmart print stuff. There are tons of online places that'll do custom printing for you. Either way, don't give these idiots money. What are they doing? What in the hell are they doing? 1.7 thousand owners. 1.7 thousand people have bought this, unless it's all wash trading, in which case, bullshit. But they're not even selling for a little bit. They're selling for half an Ethereum. That's a decent bit of money. That's like $1,000, give or take. It's ridiculous. How much money has this project made? Oh my god. I hate them. I hate them so much. Let's look at their facts page. What's an NFT? An NFT stands for a non-fungible token. A token is a digitized asset. For instance, a work of digital art, concert tickets, etc. By purchasing an NFT, one acquires a virtual certificate of ownership, which is stored on the blockchain and thus forgery-proof and unique. The buyer thereby secures rights to the digital image and can also resell his acquired share at will. Blockchain technology guarantees that all information relating to previous transactions is recorded and immutable. No, on several counts. NFTs do not inherently mean you secure the rights to the digital image that is associated with said NFT, unless the smart contract that is associated with said NFT says so. And even then, I don't know if that's been legally tested. Like, I don't know if that's gone to court and been held up. There are no official laws on smart contracts or NFTs as far as I know. In terms of things being immutable, untrue. Forks happen. Chains have different things that say different things have happened. They've done rollbacks on chains before when giant fraud happens. It's all bullshit. What's blockchain technology? It's a technology that can be viewed as a decentralized global database in which ownership can be assigned in the blockchain. Like on a chain, information and transactions are added in chronological order. And as soon as certain limits of entries are reached, they're sealed and a block is created. Once this has been digitally stored, a new block can be created. After each of these processes, the blocks are threaded into a tightly connected chain. The blockchain is decentralized and is therefore not connected with states or banks. Nevertheless, it is stored at the highest security standard through a global network of computers. Basically, it's held by individuals. You can buy in for a lot of money in order to get a copy of the blockchain on your computer, but the buy-in at this point, depending on the chain, is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's incredibly expensive. It's not really decentralized as much as it's just centralized in many cases. Like, Google has servers all over the world. That doesn't necessarily make it decentralized in the way that NFT people talk about. Maya Ren says the verification nodes are highly centralized. And if there's disagreements between the different copies of the blockchain, this can cause what's called a fork. And this is why you have different Ethereum blockchains, or Bitcoin blockchains. There's Bitcoin Classic. I think there's another Bitcoin. I don't remember what it's called. There's Ethereum, and then there's Ethereum something else. I forget the name of it. But it's not immutable. It's not it's not. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. Bitcoin Cash. That's one. Thank you. What's the price of an NFT and will it remain the same? Yes, the price of the NFT will remain at Euro 1.850 or 0.65 Ethereum, depending on the development of Ethereum. Adjustments on the Ethereum price may occur in the future. That's misleading. The price is... okay, whatever. What do I receive when I buy the NFT? You'll receive a link to your personal NFT, IPFS. You may add a dedication next to the NFT on the website. You'll receive an email link to the dedication link. You will also be able to download the data file of your NFT tile to use it for your personal use at your discretion. What are you going to do with 1/10,000th of a painting? Are you going to hang up your 1/10,000th of a painting on the wall like an idiot when you could buy the whole thing? You don't even need to buy it, theoretically, if you have the ability to print it yourself. It's in the public domain. Just hang up the whole thing on the wall, and then when someone comes over, point really tiny and use a magnifying glass and say, I own this part. Even though it's in the public domain, and therefore no one can own the right to it. That's something I didn't even bring up. I should bring this up. This painting, because of the date it was painted, is in the public domain. Which means no one can legally own the copyright to any of it. It's in the public domain. Everyone owns it. It's public. You literally cannot own the copyright to this painting. It is impossible. Nick says, it's almost as if decentralizing a ledger, which is supposed to be centralized by design, is a bad effing idea. These people are idiots. Bittergrin says, technically each specific photograph of the painting has a separate copyright. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Like, if you alter something, yeah, you can, like, claim a copyright. Like, for instance, Night of the Living Dead, famous film. George Romero made Night of the Living Dead, okay? Accidentally screwed up the copyright on the original version of the film, so it went into the public domain. Night of the Living Dead is in the public domain as it was originally released. So you can find Night of the Living Dead on the internet anywhere, and you can watch it for free. I can watch it here on Twitch. I could watch it on YouTube. I could do whatever I want with it, okay? No one owns the copyright to it. However, this has happened. A company took it and colorized it, and now that version is in the public domain, or is not in the public domain. They own the copyright to the colorized version because they used its material and transformed it. It's transformative enough that it becomes a new product, okay? Just cutting a piece out of something is not transformative. It's not. Astrofox says, I googled it. Photographs of public domain works are also public domain. Yeah. Okay. So this is bullshit. Do I need to... It's dumb. This is like, it's like the scam of buying a star. But at least the buying a star thing was a little tongue-in-cheek. Like, people know at this point, buying a star doesn't really buy you a star in any way, shape, or form. It's literally just a, you know, kitschy certificate you get. And no one recognizes that star name except for the company you bought it from, and they don't care. They're just selling you a certificate that looks official but does nothing. This is that, but without the tongue-in-cheek, without the self-awareness, without the irony. It's just, in my opinion, an absolute scam. I hate it. I hate the NFT market. I hate NFT culture. It's awful. Tweet from Crypto Bros taking L's on Twitter. Oh yeah, I saw this. Someone says, I just went through 2 busy airports. 1 full 3-hour airplane flight, and not one person complimented my Bored Ape hoodie. I can't do this anymore. I have 7 different hoodies, and none have been noticed yet. What the hell? Maybe hoodies are out of style. I hope this is fake. Because my god, if someone really thinks people are just going to randomly compliment them on their, like, Bored Ape NFT hoodie, that person is not in touch with reality. Honest Noir says the best example of this is actually Marcel Duchamp's LHOOQ, which is literally the Mona Lisa with a curly mustache. It's an entirely new work in terms of copyright laws. Felicia Angel says, but it's a small piece to use for small brains. Where's the other Magic the Gathering tweet? Did I accidentally get rid of it? Okay, so let's read this white paper, shall we? I don't know if there's anyone in my chat that plays Magic the Gathering. I don't. I know it's owned by Wizards of the Coast, which I think is owned by Hasbro now. I'm a D&D person, so I play D&D. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but they're owned by the same company. Magic the Gathering is a, if you don't know, a trading card game. Think Pokemon, but for adults. Not that you can't enjoy Pokemon as an adult, but I just mean the themes and art and everything involved with Magic the Gathering is more mature than, like, Pokemon. Hydrate. I used to have friends in high school who were into Magic. Hey, guys, I'm not trying to be a dick. I respect everyone who plays fucking Magic. It's cool. Like I said, I play D&D. There's nothing wrong with it. So Magic the Gathering is a trading card battle game, and it's very popular. It's been popular for a very long time. And this DAO, which, for those who don't know, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically a company without calling something a company. It's associated with NFTs and crypto and stuff like that. They started a DAO called Magic the Gathering DAO, which for those in the biz might know as trademark infringement. So this is their white paper. White paper being the paper where they basically spell out their plans for the DAO. This is very funny. We're going to read this and their stupid plans, and then we're going to read the legal notice, the cease and desist that was sent to them by Wizards of the Coast. GimpVat says, hey Hannah, I met a guy in China and he's super cute. Is it okay with you that I look at importing him? Is it okay with you that I look at importing him to the US? I mean, that's all true, but it gave me a reason to give you 45 bits, so there, it is what it is. Why are you asking me if it's okay for you to bring someone to the US? Do what you want. What? Honest Noir says, thanks for the bits though. Honest Noir says, one of the cringiest things about NFT culture is the extremely circle-jerky jargon. I know. Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are almost as bad as Disney. Yeah, don't mess with them. Not good. Gave you a reason to give me bits? Hey, I'll take any reason, okay? Anyway. Introduction. Magic the Gathering and crypto are a match made in heaven. I imagine anyone who's a fan of Magic the Gathering just vomited in their mouth a little bit. Princess Amelia says, okay, here's how we plan to not get cease and desist. Never mind. Magic is arguably the greatest card game ever created, rich with variety and creativity, but with an unpredictable economy making investment difficult. Crypto builds economies allowing strangers to interact in a trustless ecosystem, using protocols that follow transparent, predetermined processes. Magic the Gathering DAO is an attempt to marry these two worlds. The associated token for Magic the Gathering DAO will be MTG, which again, is just trademark infringement. At the token generation event, 50% will be airdropped equally to all community members, and 50% will be held in the Magic the Gathering DAO community-controlled treasury. Magic the Gathering will be a governance token used to control the spending of treasury funds, and will also govern the scarcity formula for the NFTs used to play the MTG DAO format. So that's a lot of jargon. Let me explain basically what's happening here. DAOs, like I said, are basically organizations, decentralized autonomous organizations, and they used NFT tokens to determine governance. So in a publicly traded company, for instance, the stock you own, proportionally to how much stock is offered in general, is a voting share. So if I own stock in Disney, let's say I'm very rich and I owned 1% of the stock in the Walt Disney Corporation, which is only 1%, but it's a lot. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you owned 1% of the Disney Corporation, you're very wealthy. Your voting shares, because you own 1% of the shares in the company, means your vote, your voting share of the company, is 1%. Your vote counts for 1% of the total votes that can be cast. Now let's say in a hypothetical you were incredibly rich and you owned 51% of the Walt Disney Corporation. You would then automatically win anytime anything comes up for a vote because you own the majority share of the company. Your vote counts for 51% because you are the majority stakeholder, okay? So anyway, in DAOs like this that use tokens for control, the more tokens you own, the more control you have over the organization, the more ownership you have over the organization. So these MTG coins are stakes, are shares basically in the DAO, if that makes sense. Stone Corbell says, in Magic, the non-fungible token is like the card. Like, you can't magically reproduce a physical card. It's already a non-transferable. Gimpvet says, if that relationship falls through, I can come live at your house as a full-time cosplay cat. I have a little over $3K a month allowance for life. LMAO. Why do I do this to you? I mean, why? It seems like you're jockeying for Daddy Sume's place, but more explicitly. KBS says, fun thing, Wizards of the Coast licensed D&D 3.5 but held back certain creatures as essential to the D&D identity. So Pathfinder is essentially D&D but has no beholders, Githyanki, Githzerai, or Mind Flayers because those are the monsters that make D&D unique. That's interesting. Okay, so anyway, their mission. Magic is an incredible game. If you're interested in the Magic the Gathering DAO, you have probably poured many enjoyable hours into the game. While many Magic fans discuss, complain, endlessly about the choice that Wizards of the Coast make, they have clearly succeeded at creating a game that people enjoy playing. Most complaints are not about the game itself, but instead are about managing the Magic card economy and related issues like power creep. Wizards has built a great game that invites you to invest in its economy, but it's hard to justify investing significant money into individual cards when the value of a card could change at any time. The reality is that individual cards are unpredictable investments at best and may lose value. It's amazing to me that someone looked at a trading card economy that is always going to be in flux, right? There are cards that are going to, with adjustments and new cards being added to the set, are always going to fluctuate, right? Because you're constantly trying to balance a game like this because you don't want it to get too easy if someone owns one card, like that Black Lotus card that was a thing way back in the day and is now worth a bunch of money and banned everywhere because it completely breaks the game. You don't want to do that. You want balance, right? But that's inherently a part of the game, as I have this card today, it's useful now, will it be in the next release of cards that might change the dynamics of the game? I don't know, but right now it's good. That's kind of part of the game. It's fine. Their idea to stabilize the market for this is to turn them into NFTs? Because when I think stability, I think NFTs, right? Card Card value loss happens for a few reasons that Wizards, operating as a for-profit company with their card pack business model, is unable to control. Card value is of course determined by supply and demand. Supply, scarcity, is determined by how many copies of a card will be printed. When a card is introduced, the number that will exist is determined by the rarity of the card and how many packs will be sold. If the card is in demand, resellers are motivated to buy packs in bulk, sell more copies. The value of the most popular card in a set would be maintained by the cost of how many packs you would need to buy to produce it, minus the total value of all other non-chaff cards that could be sold. Even this guarantee of scarcity is hard to trust because the card could be included in future releases, in pre-built sets, or in secret layer drops. Wizard has attempted to address these concerns by saying that certain cards are on reserve lists and will never be reprinted. However, even if you can trust them to keep this promise, there is nothing stopping them from changing demand for this card by releasing a similar or more powerful card that makes the first card irrelevant. Yeah, it's their game. They're allowed to do that. That's just like the risk you play when you get into a game. It's a game? It's a game. If you're doing Magic the Gathering primarily to make money, are you even playing the game, or are you a speculative leech that only exists to leech onto an existing community that enjoys playing a game, and you're ruining it for everyone? Just curious. Gimpvet said, had no intention for a jockey position with Daddy Sume, however, I'd love it to play out like this. Nope, definitely can't play that. Nope. Nope. I see Disney, I click off. I see Disney, I click off. It's that simple. Tucker White says, me, a stupid dumbass.
I don't know what any of that means.
No, it's you're right to not understand. It's all stupid. You forgot? Oh, it's fine. I can get it. Demand is determined by popularity and can be just as difficult for market participants to trust in its stability. Players, of course, want winning decks, so a card at the top of the meta will be the most expensive. At the top of the meta, to my understanding, basically means a card that is really good in terms of its strategic value within the game. I gotta drink some water. Players are also willing to invest in cards that will hold value, so they look for cards that they think will be relevant for a long time. Non-basic lands will probably be needed throughout the course of many metas, so they typically hold a high value. Flexible cards that will always be useful despite shifting metas also hold value, such as Thoughtseize. Even for these cards, future demand is hard to judge because the meta is always shifting and players are only interested in the top cards. The combination and lack of scarcity and changing demands leads to a boring meta where 99% of all games being played at any given time are using the same few hundred cards. There's no strong scarcity for top cards, so any player who wants to have fun playing some game knows that they must play with the same cards as everyone else. If you don't pay to keep up with the meta, you'll have a hard time finding equally equipped opponents. This leads to bad feelings because you must weigh the fun of playing the game with the cost of keeping up with the meta, knowing that your investment is likely to be stale when a new meta rolls around. Oh boy, did you just learn the marketing reason for trading card games? Holy shit. Pokemon's been out for decades. What are you doing? Bittergrin says, this is why the only cards I ever bought as singles were ones I needed to build specific deck or ones I thought were pretty. That's how to do it. Just have fun. These negative aspects are not exactly the fault of Wizards of the Coast. They're a for-profit company that has built a business model on selling packs. In crypto terms, they operate in the world of fiat. Just like central banks, they exist in profit by building an ecosystem that builds demand, managing a perception of scarcity, and then printing and selling into the demand curve. Wow, they also just described the entire crypto and NFT market. Except instead of fiat, it's crypto, which they are then going to sell and turn into fiat currency. They exist for profit in a market that builds demand, managing a perception of scarcity, then printing and selling into the demand curve. You just described NFTs! Oh my god. Okay. I don't mean to be too negative here. Wizards has created value for me personally and thousands of other players who get to spend time playing a game we love. But I think crypto and the world of DAO can take this game to the next effing level. We can build a protocol, legally, layered over the top of the existing game, Narrator. It wasn't legal. That can spawn a Cambrian explosion of creativity in the meta. I want to bring the concept of sound money to the Magic economy so players can trust the scarcity of their investments. I believe that this protocol can build an ecosystem with enough transparency where the sky's the limit on what some people will want to invest. I think we can build and retain a massive amount of value in the community we create. In the short term, we can have a ton of fun exploring a new format that allows a depth that has never been possible before. In the long run, I think there's a chance we can just buy... I forgot about this part. I'm going to read this real slow so everyone can hear it, okay? Yenzo, let me know what you want me to put on for that hats off. I think there's a chance we can just buy the Magic brand from Wizards of the Coast. Magic the Gathering DAO could be the next evolution of what this game and this community is and how it is operated and controlled. They believe they're gonna buy Wizards of the Coast from Hasbro. Do I have a bowler hat? Somewhere. My D&D hat. I think it's downstairs. Baja, is there any chance you could get my bowler hat from downstairs? My, I don't know if you're still listening. If you are, could you get my... Okay, thank you. Hats off. Getting the bowler hat. Bittergrin says, with 100 bits... Yeah, no, they're not gonna buy Wizards of the Coast. Also, can I just say this? Like I said, I'm a D&D person. I've not played Magic the Gathering. I'm sure it's fun. But the way this guy describes it makes it sound like a spreadsheet simulator. And I hate it. He makes it sound like no fun at all. Gimpvet says, play this muted for the F of it. It's not copyrighted, just loud. Why? No! What are you doing? Don't send me things of Kermit the Frog fucking a hamburger. What are you doing? Anyway, the Magic the Gathering DAO format. Magic the Gathering DAO format will be centered around crypto NFT card economy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those flowers are pretty, by the way.
Look at... I'm making this one.
I know, it looks
by
nice.
hand.
Woo, messed up hair.
I am... You can't see at all. I am making flowers. Practicing to make flowers for this lovely lady and I's wedding.
Gimpvet says I'm doing that later tonight. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Hello, children.
Profane Priestess says, Wizards of the Coast just cracked $1 billion profit and is 72% of Hasbro's profit margin. Source, Hasbro's last investor meeting is reported by the Nerd Immersion YouTube channel. What a joke. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Magic the Gathering DAO format will be centered around a crypto NFT card economy governed by the Magic the Gathering DAO. NFTs retain card scarcity in their format economy, limiting how many players can use the same card across the format. This will create a new format that feeds somewhere between constructed and limited. Players will lock Magic the Gathering to mint card NFTs according to scarcity formulas as determined by the community governance of the Magic the Gathering DAO. Note about Magic the Gathering DAO NFTs. In order to be allowed to play a card game in the Magic the Gathering DAO format, players will need to show proof of ownership of an NFT for each card in their deck. So basically they're having people they're having people mint Magic the Gathering cards as NFTs that these people do not have the copyright or trademark to. That's what we call in the biz illegal. Profane... Oh, I read that one. Let's see. In order to play the game, players will need to own both the NFT for their card and also the actual card used to play. Which, again, why do I need the NFT then? If I already have the card, why do I need the NFT? We're not creating NFTs licensed by Wizards of the Coast. Oh, there's a problem. Only adding an additional layer of scarcity to be able to play. Wizard cards in a new format. Players will need the actual card in order to legally play the game, whether that be a paper card, a card on Arena, or a card on Magic the Gathering. I don't know what the O stands for. The NFTs aren't meant to establish ownership of the card. It will only be used to allow that card to be played in the Magic the Gathering DAO format. We are not building gaming software or printing copies of official cards. Games will still be played using Arena, MTGO, or tabletop with real cards. NFTs can be thought of as tickets to enter tournaments or a way to represent temporary ownership of a cube draft, not as ownership of the copyrighted card. Maybe someday we can raise enough money to pay licensing fees to Wizards so these NFTs would work directly with their software. Like Arena or possibly MTG DAO, could become an officially sanctioned tournament type. In the meantime, this is not needed, and we can have a lot of fun exploring this format on our own and organizing our own matches and rankings. What is the point? What is the point? Why? Online? I was under the impression, like, if you wanted to play Magic the Gathering online, are there not already things for that? Like, D&D has online stuff. And Wizards of the Coast owns D&D. Do they not have similar stuff for Magic the Gathering? There's an official app. So, like, what? Oh, okay. Makes sense. Magic the Gathering Arena. Yeah, it's an official online game. So what is this for? They're just committing infringement on copyright and trademark to create their own online platform for Magic the Gathering playing when they don't own the rights to do that? That's so stupid. Stone Corbell says there are actually two online clients, Magic Online and Magic Arena. Magic Online is way older and pretty janky. After the token generation event, all Magic the Gathering that will ever exist will be either held by the community-controlled Magic the Gathering DAO treasury or in circulation. Held by community members, no more MTG can ever be created. MTG is used to control the scarcity of cards in the MTG DAO format and is locked when a player wants to mint an NFT for a card they want to play with. Cards are minted by locking in MTG. The locked MTG stays in the smart contract associated with that card and can be released if and only if the owner sends the NFT back to the contract to be burned. This would release the original amount of MTG locked back to the NFT holder. In this way, an investment of MTG locked into an NFT can always be recovered for the same amount of MTG. The value of the MTG token may, and certainly will, change, but the investment of MTG into the NFT can always be recovered if desired. This allows players to determine the amount they are willing to invest in their player economy, and then play without that amount of MTG without feeling like their investment is constantly being devalued. When MTG is locked to create an NFT, a fee, for example, 5% could be collected and sent to the DAO treasury, but the majority of MTG locked would be able to recovered at any time. This fee amount could be one of the protocol parameters determined by the community through the DAO. But again, so the idea that they're having is your card is worth a certain amount of this MTG coin, right? Your card is worth this much MTG coin. And in order to mint it onto our system, you need to lock that MTG coin into that card and it will be officially minted onto the blockchain, right? So the blockchain then says, you own this Magic the Gathering card in this ecosystem. And then the idea... That's loud. That's the alarm going off. Did you guys hear that? You okay? Hello? I should probably check that. I'll be back in a sec. We're good. Okay, what was I saying? All right, so the idea is that you would then be able to transfer the value of this card that is in their ecosystem back into MTG by burning the token if they feel that they would like to instead take that MTG and put it into a new card that they have developed, which doesn't make sense in terms of preserving anything for yourself because you still have to own the new card? You know what I mean? You still have to, in the real world economy, go out and buy the new card. It only has any value in this person's ecosystem. So this person's pitch to you is essentially, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be great if you gave us money for absolutely no reason that adds no value to your gameplay whatsoever? What if you just registered all your cards on our system for no reason, and then every time you wanted to, like, unmint that card and remint a new one, you gave us 5% for doing nothing? It's really stupid. The exact formula for how much MTG must be locked in to mint an NFT would be determined by the MTG DAO community. This would likely become one of the primary governance activities of the DAO. This scarcity formula would be subject and most likely highly debated by members of the community. Voters would need to balance higher scarcity with cheaper card availability. More scarcity would encourage more players to play with less popular cards, creating a rich and diverse meta. If cards became too scarce, creating a new playable deck would become too expensive. This subjective balance would need to be governed by the community. The primary motivation for maintaining scarcity would be to keep a diverse meta without too many players using the same cards. One sec. Here's a simple proposal for the scarcity formula for us to begin with. The first NFT for any given card would cost 1 MTG. If another player wants to mint an NFT of the same card, they would need to lock double the amount of MTG as the previous card. So the second NFT would cost 2 MTG, the third 4, the fifth 8, and so on. Oh, you know what's great? It's great when things double and double and double and double. That doesn't create a problem immediately. Audis Noir says, Magic the Gathering, manipulating the gullible. As the community grows, a modification factor would be needed to adjust the lower base cost of this formula. Any NFTs minted before the formula is adjusted could still be burned at any time for the exact amount of MTG locked when minting, so players shouldn't be overly concerned about MTG cost of minting new cards to be lowered. So again, by the time you get to the 18th card, the first card only takes 1 MTG to mint, right? The 18th card costs 131,000 MTG to mint. Do you see the issue here? Do you see the issue with doubling every time? Why am I blanking on the word? Someone give me the word. Blank growth. Exponential. Thanks. My brain's broken, apparently. You cannot have an economy like this built on exponential growth of the necessary coin in order to mint your cards into the ecosystem. It would be unplayable. Nick says it's like the worst game of 2048 ever. So, this is stupid. Let's look at their frequently asked questions, and then we'll look at their cease and desist from Wizards of the Coast. Frequently asked questions. That's a pretty hefty scarcity mechanism. Why so steep? That would be one. Well, it wouldn't be my first question, but it is a question. Players will need to get used to the idea that the vast majority of players will never play with or against those popular cards that we often see when playing existing formats. The idea is the primary strength of this format. Scarcity for additional copies will incentivize players to dig deep into less popular cards to find new synergies and create a vibrant meta. Net decking is basically a thing of the past. Format staples are a thing of the past. Everyone will be motivated to find new creative combos and archetypes that the buyers will have slept on. So basically, they're nerfing popular cards and breaking the game. The entire point of the exponential growth of the cost to mint these cards is to nerf popular cards and break the game. Although players who get in early or spend a lot in order to mint those cards are going to win automatically because they will have the more powerful cards. That's stupid. Nandy Owl says literally making it pay to win, which is funny because trading card games are already kind of pay to win, but this is just doubling down on it and making it worse. What's the fun here? I can't wait to play this game. Yeah, I bet you're making money off it. I think it will be really fun to be able to... What was that? One sec, I'm gonna mute this. It's alright, they were Home Alone-style burglars, but Baja fought them off with her science abilities. Science is karate now.
Yeah.
It's true. Tucker White says, me, still a stupid dumbass.
Even say it! This is so exciting. I will be, I think, Sprig Ivy? What are you even saying?
Anyway, back to the thing. I really can't wait to play this game. I think it'll be really fun to be able to ape into a tasty card without worrying that it won't be able to cash out of your investment for the same as you put into it. The scarcity will mean that there are many players with a wider variety of cards who are more equally matched to create your deck. It'll be fun to see how far up the ladder you can take a deck with limited funds. It'll be fun to explore synergies that have never been tried before and possibly be the first to show how powerful a new deck idea can be. Just create a new card game. If you hate how Magic the Gathering works so much, just create a new card game. Tucker White says, oh, I read that one. Gitara says, okay, so they wanted people to buy a digital NFT for every card in their deck while also owning the physical card, and basically players would also have to pay these people to print mint every individual card they want to use in their deck for them. This has got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, and I've heard Peter talk. True. So only rich players can win? Question mark? Answer: yes, but no. The top of the ladder will theoretically be populated with the same deck as winning outside the MTG DAO format. Those cards will be popular and will acquire a lot of MTG locked to mint them. The real fun in this format will be outside of the top 10 or 50 where new decks are being tried by players with more limited funds. Each player is going to have their own idea of how much they want to invest, and they'll have fun creatively pushing out how they can get on the ladder, in matches against other players with similar restrictions. Again, doesn't that just exist already within the current marketplace for Magic the Gathering cards? Sure, people in competitive competitions are all playing the same decks because they have the money and capital to invest in the high-tier cards to get the ideal decks that they want to play with whatever strategy they're working with. But just your casual person who's playing Magic the Gathering, they're already probably just playing with people who are casually playing Magic the Gathering, right? Not everyone's going to have the high-tier decks. That's already how the economy works. So, yeah, that's, that. Let's take a look at the cease and desist they were sent. Surprise! Companies don't like it when you steal their shit. Oh, where was it? So they have a Twitter account, and this is what their Twitter account says. Wizards of the Coast sent us a very polite email saying they consider our use of NFTs as described in the MTG DAO white paper to be unlawful IP infringement. They hint at their own NFT plans and ask that we don't launch MTG DAO. Here's why Wizards of the Coast is NGMI. NGMI is crypto talk for not gonna make it. It's basically a thought-stopping phrase similar to what is employed in cults to make you go, they just don't get it. It's not about that they have legitimate concerns that you are breaking the law and using their trademarks for your own business to make money. But no, they're just not going to make it. They don't get it. They don't get crypto. So let's read the email real quick. Wizards of the Coast LLC's Magic the Gathering says, "Dear Madam or Sir, we are counsel for Wizards of the Coast LLC, the owner, as you obviously know, of the copyrights and trademarks of Magic the Gathering." And then there's the little registered trademark symbol. Perfect. Trading card game. "We write because Wizards recently became aware of your white paper describing a potential, quote, MTG DAO project that would combine cryptocurrency and NFT technology to create a new, scarce Magic format for playing a game of Magic the Gathering. Your enthusiasm for Magic the Gathering is evident and appreciated. The team at Wizards is also impressed by the work you have put into the developing of a new format for playing Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, your intended use of Wizards' intellectual property, including its trademarks and copyrights, would be unlawful. You appear to be operating under the mistaken assumption that the project would be legal because you would allow the reproduction of Magic cards in the form of NFTs only by a player who had purchased a physical card, a card on Arena, or a card on Magic the Gathering online. This is not correct. It's the exclusive right of the copyright owner to reproduce the copyrighted work, such as Magic cards, in any format. While there is an exception in the copyright statute for making a backup or archival copy in some circumstances, this privilege extends only to computer programs and not other types of works. See, for example, the U.S. Copyright Office's facts on copyright and digital files here." There's a hyperlink. While Wizards is currently evaluating its future plans regarding NFTs and the Magic the Gathering cards, no decision has been made at this time. Use of NFTs in connection with Wizards' intellectual property is therefore strictly prohibited. As a fan of Magic the Gathering, we trust you understand Wizards' need to protect its intellectual property. Although Wizards is continuously amazed at its community's creativity and engagement, they have to protect their IP if they want to keep the lights on. On behalf of Wizards, we therefore ask that you refrain from implementing your idea for a Magic the Gathering DAO community that relies on unlawful reproduction and use of our IPs. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or wish to discuss this further. Honestly, a very nice response. Of course, they're trying to be, they're trying to be as diplomatic as they can about it. In fact, the lawyers probably laughed about it because of how stupid this is on the face of it. I cannot imagine how he thought this would be a good idea. Now, let me give you an example. There are, for instance, third-party applications that allow you to play another Wizards of the Coast game, D&D. Now, one of these is Roll20, which I have an account on. Roll20 is a tabletop game site. Now, you know what's important about Roll20 and why I'm describing it as a tabletop gaming site? Because they do not market themselves as a Dungeons and Dragons online site, because Dungeons and Dragons is the trademark of Wizards of the Coast. They cannot say, "Hey, we're Roll20. We're here for all your D&D needs," nor can they say, "We're here for you to come and play Pathfinder or whatever game you can play on here," right? Because they're not allowed to use that trademark. But they can say tabletop because they're all tabletop games. That's fair. Nor can they, for instance, say, "Oh, you own the monster manual for D&D? Here, just scan the barcode and we, Roll20, will give you a digital copy of the monster manual on the website." They can't do that because that would be reproducing the monster manual in a digital form, which only Wizards of the Coast has the right to do. Them and their publishing partners. I don't know who they partner with for publishing, but they have deals worked out with that. Do you see what I'm saying? That's effectively what this DAO is trying to do, is say, well, you already own it, so we're going to let you reproduce it. It's very stupid. So anyway, this is the response the Magic the Gathering DAO person had to the cease and desist. It's delusional. Our vision for the Magic the Gathering DAO is so similar to a local game store. Here we would host tournaments, fund writers, and sponsor players. A DAO is the primary community building tool of Web3. To forbid a Magic DAO is to forbid any authentic presence in Web3. Not gonna make it. Magic the Gathering DAO NFTs are protocol tools used to track card scarcity across Magic the Gathering DAO tournaments. Web3 tools like tokens, wallets, DAOs, and NFTs are the building blocks of a safer, more secure, more interactive internet. Here's the problem. You are literally calling yourself MTG DAO. Magic the Gathering is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. You don't own that. And you are explicitly advertising your product as being for Magic the Gathering cards. You can't do that. Now, for instance, if you wanted to build a web tool that just said, hey, here's a trading card tool. It lets you keep track of all your trading cards online. You could do that, and you could even, like, make it blank so people could fill in information for their cards or whatever. But you can't just reproduce the cards yourself as part of your product. That's illegal. Banning any usage of community-created NFTs related to Magic is like banning any other group of technologists outright. No, it's not. It unfairly discriminates against Web3 tech and Web3 communities. NFT pros are being discriminated against because we want to break the law and you won't let us. Bittergrin says a game store is a reseller of cards for Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast gets their cut. Do they? Usually it's secondhand markets. They don't give a cut to the original people. Anyway, as Web3 becomes more popular, this attitude will not age well. Oh, good, they're trying to wag their finger at the person they're stealing copyright and trademark from. Wizards of the Coast are digging their heels into the old world. Internet culture moves quickly, and Wizards of the Coast is solidifying their position as dinosaurs on the brink of extinction. Catching up will only become harder. Not gonna make it. Again, see how he's just repeating not gonna make it? Like it's a fucking cult. Bittergrin says a game store is a resell. Oh, I read that one, sorry. Nick says classic Darvo. I don't get it. This attitude makes the success of their own NFT project tenuous. There is clear pushback from most of the gaming community against NFTs. It's no wonder gamers are wary and disgusted. They're disgusted because NFTs are dog shit. What? Darvo, deny accusations, reverse victim and offender. Oh, okay. They see NFTs being sold for millions and it doesn't make any sense. Empty status symbols representing nothing more than how much money you can afford to waste. Gamers! I'm gonna hope gamers is capital just because it's the first word in the tweet and not because they are capitalizing gamers regularly. Gamers have only experienced game economies intentionally designed to extract maximum value from players. Unlike you, who's taking a very reasonable 5% for a service that does nothing. Oh, we should get a gamers emote. That'd be good. Convoluted and opaque so players can experience a suspension of disbelief around how their value is extracted. Excuse me. The standard formula is to create a fantasy world where players feel immersed and can believe that in-game assets have qualities like scarcity and value. But over time, through mechanisms like nerfing, power creep, and printing in-game currencies, every player will see their invested value be devalued for profit. Again, most people play games because they're fun. I don't buy minis for D&D because I think they're gonna go up in value. I would buy them because I think they're cool to play with. I don't buy books for D&D, which I have downstairs, that are like supplements for D&D because I think they're going to go up in value. I buy them because the value I get out of them is that I purchase them with money, I get a good, and then can use them to have fun with my friends. Why do these people think everything is an investment you need to make money on? It's a goddamn mental illness. It's weird. Whether consciously or subconsciously, gamers have learned to avoid and detest anything resembling economies in their games. Loot boxes, microtransactions, in-game currencies, and now NFTs are added to the list. Oh boy, it's almost like because that kind of stuff has completely destroyed the fun of certain games by getting it and turning it into a cash-extracting Skinner box instead of a product you just outright pay for and have fun with. What is not popularly understood yet is that crypto can give players the ability to choose games with transparent, fully known, and pre-programmed economies. They can know the rules ahead of time about how and where value can flow and be cashed out. I'm pretty sure they have to do the same thing for trading card packs. Like, they have to say, here are the chances that you get this card or this card or this card. I think you can usually find that information on their website. Like, I think they have to do that. I don't know that for sure, though. Developers become participants in the economy instead of pulling strings behind curtains to gain trust and then exploit it. All this doesn't mean Wizards of the Coast can't make profit in this new paradigm. I think creating an economy that respects user value would be wildly profitable for Wizards of the Coast. It just requires them to think beyond their current business models and become participants in the decentralized ecosystem. There are plenty of transparent ways for Wizards of the Coast to profit from a project like Magic the Gathering DAO. They could negotiate a percentage of the initial token distribution or simply charge users to have their software interact with user wallets and NFTs. He doesn't get it, does he? You are breaking the law. They don't have to work with you. They will sue you into the dirt. They will take everything you have, and they won't care. They won't feel bad. Is your DAO even do you have an LLC associated with this? At least if you have an LLC associated with this, you would have some amount of legal protection. But if you think a DAO is going to protect them from taking your personal assets and the stupid lawsuit that'll result from this, you are a fool. Anti-Pretzel says, hot take, Wizards of the Coast takes forever to make new classes, races, subclasses. You get the gist along with adventures and bestiaries because they're at least trying to create some form of proper balance, and this requires time and man-hours spent in extensive testing. Homebrewing can take less, but that's thanks to communities, but also does require understanding that that's all allowed under the SRD, and balance can be difficult, hence constant need to playtest. Part 1 of 3. Second part. And yet, there are these morons who think you need to invest upwards into the system when this is not how these games work. At the end of the day, even you understand, Hannah, a one-time purchase is better than any scam like this shit. Agreed. It's really, really stupid. I don't understand why these people view this stuff. Like, I just didn't, and I know it's different. D&D is fundamentally a different thing than, like, Magic the Gathering. One is a collective trading card game, or a collecting trading card game, and one is a tabletop game that really doesn't require a bunch of purchases outside of your, you know, starter book, maybe some minis if you want, dice, whatever. But they do come out with, like, new adventures, new, setting guides and all that kind of stuff. I don't usually buy that. I like homebrew just personally, but that doesn't mean I don't, you know, read, look at, buy the books that they put out to get ideas. And certainly the stuff that they do with balance is really important. It's fundamental. Even if you don't use like rules as written Wizards of the Coast material, it is fundamental to setting precedent for what the rules and balance should look like in a D&D game, right? So if you're wondering, is this homebrew class or subclass that I've come up with or that I'm looking at on DM's Guild or any other website where you can get this kind of stuff, is it unbalanced? Well, let's compare it to the rules as written and see kind of how it pans out. How is this working compared to rules as written, you know? And I'm sorry if you don't play D&D. This is not gonna, I don't know if this makes any sense. But the point I'm trying to make is they are creating value for the economy of their gaming system, whether it's a card game or it's this thing. And the idea that you have to get anything out of it other than enjoyment of the game is crazy. It's crazy to me. It's insanity. It's like people who, like, I don't know, and maybe this is like just me, but like I've said many times, and I know I talk about it a lot, but I think it goes to show the difference between someone who's a collector and someone who's a speculator. I collect Blu-rays and DVDs, okay? I own like 600 something at this point, and I'm continuing to get them. They're great, and I love them. At no point have I ever considered upon a purchase of a Blu-ray or DVD or 4K or whatever, will this go up in value, and will I make a profit off of this? Because that is not why I am buying it, nor collecting it. I buy them because I enjoy them. They are a good that I buy with money that I earn through labor, so I can enjoy it in my life. I'm not speculating on it. I am buying it because I want it. Because it is a thing I want. And it's like these NFT people are fundamentally divorced from the concept of buying a good because you like it and just want it. They're only in the headspace of how can I speculate on this? How can I create a futures market? How can I cut this up into 50 trillion pieces and sell it to people individually so we can all speculate on those dissected pieces of this larger thing? It's insanity. It's like a personality disorder. It's an addiction. It's insane. Do I want to speculate on a copy of Death of Superman? Okay, I speculate that the stuff from Steel and Superboy will be really rad afterward. That's my speculation. And also the mullet he has when he comes back as boss, and he should bring the mullet back. Anyway. As fans of Magic, we want Wizards of the Coast to win, but we're learning to expect more from our games. If Wizards of the Coast can't adapt, players will move fast to other crypto TCGs, and sadly, Wizards of the Coast will not gonna make it. You didn't even format that properly, so it's grammatically correct. NGMI is just such a meme in the crypto cult that he has to put it just as is. Tucker White says, let me explain what Hannah just said.
Money!
Yeah, basically. To members of Magic the Gathering DAO, I don't know exactly where we go from here. Wizards' position seems reactionary, but I don't currently know enough about copyright law to be confident about how a court would interpret this situation. Let me tell you how that would go. Guilty? Pay them. Pay them all everything you have. Give it to them. Give them your shirt. In court. You are done. I plan on responding to their email, getting clarification, and trying to help them see something like Magic the Gathering DAO and Web3 in general as an opportunity and not a threat. My primary motivation continues to be combining my two passions, Web3 and Magic, in ways a community is excited to engage with. This isn't the end for Magic the Gathering DAO. I think the Web3 community has a lot to bring to the game if Wizards can be open-minded enough about us. Wish us luck. Oh yeah, and WAGMI, which stands for We're All Gonna Make It, which is another, like, platitude that Web3 NFT cultists say. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, he tweeted later, too. This is another tweet. I don't know shit about... Sorry, this one gets to me. I can't. I don't know shit about copyright law, so I'm trying not to discuss it much, but I'll tell you that Magic the Gathering DAO NFTs being IP infringement is not intuitive to me. Making a copy of a Magic card and selling it as an NFT would be copyright infringement. Magic the Gathering DAO NFTs are just a protocol tool to track who's allowed to use a card in our Magic tournaments. It's like the difference between making a copy of a book versus giving someone an invite to bring a book to a book club. I never would have thought you would need to get permission from the author before doing the latter, but I'm certainly not an expert. Mutes thread. You called your organization Magic the Gathering DAO. Do you understand? What do you not understand? Non India Owl says the judge's reaction if this is brought before the court.
You serious?
It's true. It's very true. I don't know why he thinks this is okay. His last post appears to be 2 days ago. Okay, here we go. No, he's responded a little bit 18 hours ago. Someone says, seeing a ton of bad takes on the topic of hashtag Hasbro selling off Wizards of the Coast, somehow being good for players, could easily be worse by a lot, and I'm dying to know which buyer you trust with taking over Wizards of the Coast and why. Is Hasbro selling it? Hadn't heard. Magic the Gathering DAO says, it should be owned by the Magic community and prioritized to making the best games and not just extracting the most profit from them. I mean, I'm cool with, like, socialist shit, but, like, you're into NFTs, so what are you doing? I don't understand NFT people. I don't get why they think that just because they do stuff on a blockchain that all of a sudden copyright and trademark law doesn't exist. It does. It does exist. And you need to follow it, or you're going to be sued. It's as simple as that. And yeah, sometimes litigation takes a while to catch up to new technology. But it catches up. It always catches up. You're effed. You're just screwed. Why? Why do you do this to yourselves? Stop breaking the law, asshole. Hasbro is splitting Wizards of the Coast into its own division and not selling it. Oh, okay. MMO Addicted says something I may like. What is it? Anyway, that's the Wizards of the Coast thing. Just crazy. Just crazy what these people think they can get away with. Let's see. We're delighted to announce that we're working on Doctors and Daleks, a new line of products that brings Doctor Who adventures to your table using 5th edition rules. The first rules release, the Doctors and Daleks Player's Guide, will launch soon. Woo! Yes! Yes! I'm very excited for that. Thank you for sharing that. Duggar White says, crypto fuck. Alright, new plan. We call it Gagic the Mathering, a card game dedicated to the life and legacy of Cotton Mather. If Wizards of the Coast gives us shit, we do something like this.
We resemble butter legally distinct from the lollipop. Kill the lollipop.
Seriously, I'm very excited about this. That's awesome. Doctor Who official, like, 5e rules, or something that works in 5e, at least. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Anyway. So that's D&D, a little on the nose there. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough crypto stuff for the day. We've been going for 3 hours. Oh, Jake's streaming. What's Quest Authority streaming about? We'll decide if we're doing. We'll do Jake. Alright, have a good night, everyone. MMO Addicted says, you're welcome. They did awesome work doing Time Lord of the Rings in 5e, and they had been doing the official Doctor Who RPG for years. Decent company. I love their products and their Warhammer games. Awesome. I'm very excited for that. I'll definitely buy their book or whatever when it comes out. Even if I don't use it exactly, I'm sure there's stuff I could use for Professor stuff in there in future games. Alright, we're gonna raid Jake. Have a good night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow for another stream, so I hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you when I see you. Have a wonderful night, everyone. And be nice to Jake. He's a friend of mine. See you guys later.